in the first paragraph. Way to start this thing off.
Yeah, that is definitely a way to start things off. But yeah, hello everyone, and welcome for joining us today.
Welcome for joining us.
I can't make words. I'm just when I get too excited, I forget how to English language.
Well, do you remember how to Spanish?
Sometimes I don't remember how to talk when I'm too excited, okay? Leave me alone.
Never! You're one of my friends! I don't want to leave you alone because then I'll be lonely!
You're being dramatic again.
You bet your ass I am.
Language! Anywho.
Ass isn't a swear, it's a different word for donkey.
Fair enough. Anywho, so, hello everyone, and welcome. So, today, for those of you who have been following this channel for a while, you will know that myself and my wonderful co-host, Felix,
Hi there.
Play D&D. And especially, we play D&D in the podcast Dice Sesh, which you found wherever you find your usual podcasting goodness.
Spotify, iTunes, and Apple Play.
Right. So, today, Tasha's Cauldron of Everything came out for public viewing and access. My physical hard copy is still in the mail, according to Amazon, but Felix, my wonderful friend, has
spends a lot of money.
Has a D&D Beyond account, and he bought the digital copy, which we will be looking at today. Now, because I know some of the people who watch this channel may not have much practical experience with D&D, when a technical term comes up, we will be explaining it to the best of our ability.
Will we, though?
I'll do my best to.
Or we'll be sitting here gushing like, oh, that's great!
I'll do my best. You do the fanboying, I'll explain why you're fanboying.
Hold on, if I'm gonna be fanboying, I need to get some water on my throat, and so I can really hit those pitches that just make everyone wonder, is this really a dude?
Okay. Okay, your mic did not like that, and thank you everyone in the stream chat for joining us. Okay, so Tasha's Cauldron of Everything is a compilation book which gives a host of new options for the game, and your journey through those options is accompanied by notes from the author, Tasha. This is Tasha. She is a mage. I'm uncertain if she is a wizard, sorcerer, or warlock.
She's a witch.
Or just a straight-up witch.
She was raised by Baba Yaga.
Yes, who is a thing in this universe. Raised and trained by Baba Yaga, creator of the spell Tasha's Hideous Laughter.
And some new spells that are in this book.
Oh, and some new ones? Neat. But yeah, she is a force to be reckoned with and her life is one of the most storied in the D&D multiverse. Traveled across the world of Greyhawk and became the friend and sometimes enemy of other famous adventurers like Mordenkainen. Apparently,
in time,
she ruled as the Witch Queen, apparently, and later changed her name to Igglewilv. I hope I pronounced that right.
I don't know.
A figure of legend who is whispered about, feared, and admired. Written for players and dungeon masters alike, this book offers options to enhance characters and campaigns in any D&D world. Whether you're adventuring in Greyhawk, Faerun, Theros, any other official D&D setting, or a world of your own creation.
So yes, Mornest will be using shit from this book.
As will be Takis.
Takis, Corsic,
just every character you have ever had.
There's too many good stuff.
Right. What we'll find within Chapter 1, new features and subclasses for the classes featured in the player's handbook, and presents in full the Artificer class, a master of magical invention. This chapter also features feats for groups that use feats, because some groups use feats, others don't. Personal preference. Chapter 2 contains patrons who may become the driving force behind your group's adventures. Chapter 3 sparkles with new magical options, including spells, magical spell books, artifacts, and magic-infused tattoos, available for both player characters and monsters. Chapter 4 holds various rules that DM may incorporate into a campaign, including rules on sidekicks who level up with the player characters and on supernatural environments. The chapter
such as a mimic colony.
That sounds like something special. The chapter ends. I'm sorry, you say your piece.
I read it. It is.
It is a mimic colony. The chapter ends with a collection of puzzles ready to be deployed in any adventure that the DM would like to spice up with some puzzling. One thing to make note of: everything in this book is optional. Each group, guided by the DM, decides which of these options, if any, to incorporate into a campaign. You can use some, all, or none. We encourage you to pick and choose. Whatever options you choose, this book relies on the rules in the Player's Handbook, Monster Manual, and Dungeon Master's Guide, and can be paired with the options in Xanathar's Guide to Everything and the other D&D books published at this point. Much of the material in this book has appeared in Unearthed Arcana, a series of online articles we published to explore rules that might officially become part of the game, as quoting Wizards of the Coast. Some Unearthed Arcana offerings don't end up resonating with fans and are set aside. The Unearthed Arcana material that inspired the options in the following chapters were well received, and thanks to feedback, have been refined into the official forms presented herein.
And the 10 rules of D&D.
The DM educates the rules. Basically, what the DM says goes, and rules lawyering can be frowned upon.
Number 2.
Exceptions supersede general rules. Basically, if a piece of the game tells you can do things one way, you can do it that way, even if it overrides or even contradicts the traditional rules.
Number 3.
Advantage and disadvantage. For context, advantage and disadvantage is a system introduced in 5e where if you have advantage, you can roll 2d20 and pick the higher. Disadvantage, on the other hand, is a condition that can be inflicted upon you, where you roll 2d20 and pick the lower.
The rule of number 3. Even if one factor gives you advantage or disadvantage, you can only have it once. And if you have advantage and disadvantage on the same rule, they cancel each other out.
Right, so if you have advantage and disadvantage on the same roll, they cancel each other out. That makes perfect sense, because you can't... the two are inherently contradictory. And...
Number 4.
Reaction timing. Certain game features let you take a special action called a reaction in response to an event. Making opportunity attacks and casting the shield spell are two typical uses of said reactions. If you're uncertain if a reaction occurs in relation to its trigger, here's the rule. The reaction happens after its trigger, unless the description of the reaction explicitly says otherwise. Once you take a reaction, you can't take another one until the start of your next turn.
The reaction happens after the trigger, unless Rule 2.
Yeah, unless the game says otherwise.
Number 5!
And, Wolf, I'm glad we're offering you this technical discussion, since you apparently learned about advantage and disadvantage less than a week ago. Proficiency bonus. So, another thing introduced in 5e is the proficiency bonus. It starts at +2, and slowly creeps up, +3, +4, and I think the max it can go is +5.
I'll double check that later.
Okay. I will yeah, this is one of those where it's like, I might be right, but I also might be wrong. Basically, your proficiency bonus is how your training and skill affects what you're trying to do. It's how well trained you are at swinging a sword, at shooting a bow, or casting a spell, or anything like that. And Eobard, I hope this video helps you in terms of getting into D&D. Like, we might be doing more discussions about it on the channel. I'm not entirely certain yet. But yeah, anyways, if your proficiency bonus applies to a roll, you can add that bonus only once to a roll. Even if multiple things in the game say your bonus applies. For example, if you're trying to stack abilities that you're proficient in. Moreover, if more than one thing tells you to double or halve your bonus, you can double it once or halve it once before applying it. Whether multiplied, divided, or left at its normal value, the proficiency bonus can only be used once per roll. The one thing that tells you to double or halve your bonus, rogues actually have an ability where they can double their proficiency bonus for some of their skills.
So do bards.
Bards have the thing where they can use some of their proficiency bonus for everything.
Yeah, that's the halve thing. But we also get expertise, which is the double thing.
Right. But yeah, your proficiency bonus is something you apply to certain skills during character creation. Bonus action spells.
Number 6.
If you want to cast a spell that has a casting time of 1 bonus action, remember that you can't cast any other spells before or after it on the same turn, except for cantrips with a casting time of 1 action.
Number 7.
Concentration. As soon as you start casting a spell or using a special ability that requires concentration, your concentration on another effect ends instantly. For something to require concentration, it needs to explicitly say that it does.
Exactly.
For example, let's say I'm playing a mage who is concentrating on having a certain spell going. I think it's, oh god, what's a 5e spell that requires concentration? Chain Lightning?
Yeah.
Who is casting Chain Lightning and is maintaining it. Because using a crossbow does not because using another... Basically, you can do other things while maintaining a concentration spell. A thing needs to explicitly say that it requires concentration for it to end a concentration effect.
Or you get hit.
Yeah, or you take damage. Taking damage will shatter your concentration like nobody's business.
Right. Number 8, an important one that people forget.
Temporary hit points are not cumulative.
They don't stack.
Unless unless Rule 2 applies.
Right, unless Rule 2.
You don't add them together unless a game feature says you can. Instead, you decide which temporary hit points to keep. If you are in that situation, pick the higher number of temporary hit points. If you're having temporary hit points applied to you, you are in a pickle.
Or you're just messing with a glamour bard who can do it whenever they hit bardic inspiration.
Yeah, or you have a glamour bard in the party.
Which, if you have a glamour bard in the party, have fun with that.
Yeah. Number 9, round down. Whenever you divide or multiply a figure in the game, round down if you end up with a fraction, even if the fraction is 1/2 or greater. This is what Rule 9 is one where DM's discretion applies a lot.
Yeah. Once again, round down unless Rule 1.
Yeah, round down unless DM says so.
And then number 10, the only rule that circumnavigates Rule 1.
Have fun. You don't need to know every rule to enjoy D&D, and each group has its own style. Different ways it likes to tell stories and to use the rules. Embrace what your group enjoys most. In short, follow what makes you happy.
And then, Susan.
Yes, and now we have
Would you like to read the foreword from Tasha?
Yes, and now we have a note from dear Tasha.
All right, hit me with the voice acting.
Oh, good lord. I have no
Powerful
idea
witch lady.
I don't know what Tasha is supposed to sound like.
Do a Mai. She's in control, she's powerful, and she knows it.
Okay. My dear, sweet, lucky reader, you know me. You've heard of my exploits. You've spread my titles. Natasha the Dark, Hura of Ket, Baba Yaga's daughter, witch par excellence, and if you're not trying to impress, just plain Tasha. For longer than I care to confess, I've sought out mysteries and wonders that beggar description. Well, wonders that beggar the descriptions of those not raised in an immortal's dancing hut as I was. Within this tome, you'll find a sampling of the curiosities I've documented during my travels, including my exploits with the infamous Company of Seven, my studies with the original Mad Archmage, Zagig... Nope.
Yep, nope, skip it.
And my correspondences with the world-hopping and sanctimonious luminaries like Mordenkainen. Unfortunately, at Mordenkainen's request, a panel of experts from the Greyhawk Guild of Wizardry, which I'm assured is an esteemed center of learning and not at all an elaborate scheme to swindle high-born rubes, has been granted editorial oversight of this work. As a result, I understand that some of my less traditional findings have been saddled with various rules for the supposed safe continuance of the mystical arts and indeed all life in the multiverse. No matter. Through a combination of irrefutable arguments and spells, I've convinced the editorial board to furnish me with this advanced copy of my work. In reviewing it, I've added a variety of helpful marginalia. I expect that, with the inclusion of my insights, guidance, threats, and critiques, clever minds will have all they need to advance their accountings of the multiverse's infinite audacities. And even if not, read on, and maybe you'll learn something my Archmage semi-peers are terrified of you learning. I'm drawing back the curtain of reality for you, reader dearest. Summon your courage and take a peek. Tasha.
Alright, let's hit the chapter everyone's here for.
Character options!
Woo!
Apparently there are people... Eobard, we know him in the Discord as Stug, is of the opinion that Tasha should sound like Starscream, and it's just like, no.
Oh.
We're sorry, but no. Yep.
But,
And yes, Lynn, she is one of those people where, like, she is nice until she no longer feels she should be.
oh, but speaking of which,
Here she is.
right outside the Baba Yaga hut, and look in the background! Who is it? Who could it be but the boy?
That's a satyr.
It is a satyr!
Yep. So, the girl surrounded by fairies here sitting on the glowy mushroom is Tasha.
And over in the back, it's a satyr.
And the chicken leg hut is Baba Yaga's house.
Yeah. Oh, and you even see Baba Yaga, like, right there.
There, I think. That might be her, that might just be some weird shading. I don't know.
No, that thing has hands.
Oh, that's Baba Yaga then, just sort of quietly watching her adoptive daughter train.
Yep.
The concept for that scares me a little.
Yep.
But anyways, when you make your D&D character, you have a variety of options in the player's handbook, Xanathar's Guide to Everything, those books, to create the sort of character you want. This chapter adds to those options, making it possible to realize even more character concepts. If you combine these options with those in Xanathar's Guide to Everything, the possibilities for your characters become vast. Here are the options featured in this chapter. A way to customize your character's origin by changing some of your racial traits. Guidance on how to change your subclass. The Artificer class, a master of magical invention. Class features and subclasses for every class in the player's handbook. Feats for everyone who uses them. So here are my opinions on feats. I use them when I can't think of a stat to increase.
Yep, nope, same.
Or if there's something specific I want a character to become able to do.
Right. Like, Takis, he's gonna take a medium armor master on the next level up.
Yeah.
So I don't have to worry about putting a point into dex. He has 16 total dex. With medium armor master, he can add his entire modifier to his armor. There's no reason to add dex past that.
Right. Customizing.
And plus, I don't get a disadvantage on stealth anymore.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Yep.
At first level, you choose customizing your origin. At first level, you choose various aspects of your character, including ability scores, race, class, and background. Together, these elements help paint a picture of your character's origin and gives you the ability to create many different types of character. Despite that versatility, a typical character race in D&D offers little or no choice, a lack that can make it difficult to realize certain character concepts. The following subsections addresses that lack by adding choice to a character's race, allowing you to customize your ability scores, languages, and certain proficiencies to fit the origin you have in mind. For your character race in the game represents your character's fantasy species, combined with certain cultural assumptions. The following options step outside those assumptions to pave the way for truly unique characters. Ability score increases. Whatever D&D race you choose for your character, you get a trait called Ability Score Increase. This increase reflects an archetypal bit of excellence in the adventurers of this kind in D&D's past. For example, if you're a dwarf, your constitution increases by 2, because dwarf heroes in D&D are exceptionally tough. This increase doesn't apply to every dwarf, just to dwarf adventurers, and it exists to enforce an archetype. This reinforcement is appropriate if you want to lean into the archetype, but it's unhelpful if your character doesn't conform to the archetype. If you'd like your character to follow their own path, you may ignore your ability score or increase trait and assign ability scores increases tailored to your character. Here's how to do it. Take any ability score increase you gain in your race or subrace and apply it to an ability score of your choice. If you gain more than one increase, you can't apply those increases to the same ability score, and you can't increase a score above 20. For example, if an ability score increase trait of your race or subrace increases your constitution by 2 and your wisdom by 1, you could instead increase your intelligence by 2 and your charisma by 1. Does that make sense?
Yes, makes perfect sense to me. Basically, they're saying, hey, if you want to build an orc who was raised by humans and those humans were scholars, so you have a smart orc, do it. But if the natural ability score increases of an orc doesn't really help for that, then change them. I can do that? Yeah, sure, go ahead.
I can just, those can be changed? Yes, they can. Languages. Your character's race includes languages your character is assumed to know, usually common and the language of your ancestors. For example, a halfling adventurer is assumed to know common and halfling. Here's the thing. D&D characters are extraordinary, and your character might have grown up speaking languages different from the ones in the listed trait. To customize the languages you know, you may replace each language in your language's trait with a language from the following list: Abyssal, Celestial, Common, Deep Speech, Draconic, Dwarvish, Elvish, Giant, Gnomish, Goblin, Halfling, Infernal, Orc, Primordial, Sylvan, or Undercommon. Your DM may add or remove languages from that list, depending on what languages are appropriate for your campaign.
Once again, it's just like, hey, I got a tiefling, but he's never even seen an infernal. He was raised in a church. All right, then give him celestial. Wait, I can do that? Yeah, sure, whatever.
Yeah, basically, all these rules are giving you is ways to tweak your character so they better suit the concept you have in mind.
Yep.
Which is awesome. Proficiencies.
Here's something, though.
Some races and sub-races grant proficiencies. These proficiencies are usually cultural, and your character might not have any connection with the culture in question, or might have pursued different training. You can replace each of those proficiencies with a different one of your choice, following the restrictions on the proficiency swapping table, which is, conveniently, directly beneath this. You can swap a skill for a skill. Makes sense there.
Yep.
An armor for a simple/martial weapon or tool. A simple weapon for a simple weapon or tool. A martial weapon for a simple or martial weapon or tool. Or a tool for a tool or simple weapon.
There's no other way to get armor, though.
Yeah, there really is no other way to get an armor proficiency. So, if your race comes with an armor proficiency and you think you might use that armor type, keep it.
Keep it. Unless
It does
unless
not...
your class gives you the same armor proficiency.
Right.
That's where I could see you switching out the armor proficiency, because all classes give you one.
Yeah, every class gives you an armor proficiency.
But let's say you have an armor proficiency because you're like a dwarf and you get medium armor, right?
Yeah.
And you want to be a warlock. Don't get rid of that armor proficiency.
If you're
Take the scale mail.
Yes, if you have an armor proficiency innately that your class does not provide that you think you might use, keep it. Unless using the armor will negate a feature of that class, like a monk or a barbarian, where you are encouraged to not wear armor. But anyways,
Right.
For example, High Elf adventurers have proficiency with long swords, long bows, short bows, anything in that family, which are martial weapons. Consulting the table, we see that the High Elf can swap that proficiency for proficiency with another weapon or a tool. Your Elf might be a musician, who chooses proficiency with a musical instrument, which is classified as a type of tool, instead of with longswords. Similarly, elves start with proficiency in the perception skill. Your elf might not have the keen senses associated with their kin, and could take proficiency in a different skill, like performance. I'm going to use a character in a campaign I'm a player in at the moment. I've told you guys about her before, the elven barbarian who got raised by orcs, Zuri. I kept Zuri's knowledge of the perception skill because that is something she would have been trained in anyway.
Right.
Largely in a, you need to be aware of your surroundings so things don't eat you.
But you could have also swapped it out for survival. Gets the same thing done, but flavors it a little for a barbarian.
She's a barbarian, so I gave her survival anyway.
I know, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's like, she gets survival anyway from one of her backgrounds, so I didn't really see the need to swap it out. That and proficiency in perception is always handy.
No, it is true. It's true. I'm just making the argument.
Right. Yes. Now we come to things. She is still working on finding her birth parents. Largely because when she was separated from them, she was so little, like she was barely able to form a coherent event memory. So she's not even sure where to start looking for them. The people who raised her did a phenomenal job of doing so, and finding her birth parents will not replace them in any way, shape, or form. And Lord help anybody who makes that suggestion. Anywho, personality. The description of a race might suggest various things about the behavior and personality of that people's archetypal adventurers. You may ignore these suggestions, whether they're about alignment, moods, interests, or any other trait. Your character's personality and behavior are entirely yours to determine.
I've already been playing like that.
Yeah, me too, not gonna lie.
But here's a custom lineage thing.
Yep. Instead of choosing one of the game's races for your character at first level, you can use the following traits to shape your character's lineage, giving you full control over how your character's origin shaped them. Creature type, you are a humanoid. You determine your appearance and whether you resemble any of your kin. Size, you are small or medium, your choice. Speed, your base walking speed is 30 feet. Ability score increase. One ability score of your choice increases by 2. Feat, you gain 1 feat of your choice for which you qualify. Variable trait, you gain one of the following options of your choice. Dark vision with a range of 60 feet, or proficiency in one skill of your choice. Languages. You can speak, read, and write Common and one other language that you and your DM agree is appropriate for your character.
And now we have changing a skill and changing subclass.
Here's where things are about to get technical. Brace yourselves. Sometimes you pick a skill proficiency that ends up not being very useful in the campaign or that no longer fits your character's story. In those cases, talk to your DM about replacing that skill proficiency with another one offered by your class at first level. A convenient time for such a change is when you reach a level that grants you the ability score increase feature, representing that your character has spent a level or two studying the new skill and letting the old one atrophy.
And now changing your subclass.
Each character class involves the choice of a subclass at first, second, or third level. A subclass represents an area of specialization and offers different class features as you level up. With your DM's approval, you can change your subclass when you would normally gain a new subclass feature. If you decide if you make this change, choose another subclass that belongs to your class and replace all your old subclass features with the features of the new subclass that are for your new level and lower. Training time. Because this is something you gotta work for.
There's 2 ways to do it. No, there's 2 ways to do it. You can either do training, doing all this, or you can do a sudden change.
To change your subclass, the DM might require you to spend time devoted to the transition, as you study the ways of your new specialization. This transition requires a number of days equal to your new level in the class. A higher level represents more to learn. The DM might also require an expenditure of money to pay for training, magical reagents, or other goods associated for the transition. The cost is typically 100 gold pieces times your new level. This cost might be accompanied by a quest of some sort. For example, a sorcerer who wants to adopt a draconic bloodline could be required to receive blood, a blessing, or both from an ancient dragon. If you return to a subclass that you previously held, you forego the gold cost and the time required for the transition is halved. Or, sudden change. Sometimes a character undergoes a profound transformation in their beliefs or abilities. When a character experiences a profound self-realization or faces an entity or place of overwhelming power, beauty, or terror, the DM might allow an immediate subclass change. Here are a few examples. An Oath of Devotion Paladin fails to stop a demonic horde from ravaging her homeland. After spending a night in sorrowful prayer, she rises the next morning with the features of the Oath of Vengeance, ready to hunt down the horde.
Makes sense.
A wizard lies down for a nap beneath an oak tree whose roots reach into the Feywild. In his dreams, he faces visions of multiple possible futures. When he awakens, his subclass features have been replaced by the School of Divination. A little more out there, but it's a wizard.
True. And then the cleric, this one just sounds like a good moment.
Yes, a cleric of the War Domain has spent years in conflict with the enemies of her temple. But one day she wanders into a sun-dappled glade, where her god once shed a tear of mercy over the world's suffering. Drinking from the glade's brook, the cleric is filled with such compassion for all people that she now bears the powers of the life domain, ready to heal rather than make war, That is a character development moment and a half right there.
Yeah, no, that's one of the things where the DM's looking at it like he set it up, and he's like, fuck, I gotta give her the subclass. Oh, shit. Oh, damn it.
Oh, well, I can censor you in post.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yes, Wolf, to answer your question, in 3.5, and to the members roll army, they got spear proficiency. Yes, this is kind of like that. In 3.5, you could train a proficiency into yourself at the DM's discretion. This is something vaguely like that. This is giving actual hardcore mechanics for it instead of giving it to the DM to handwave. But yes, all of these are, in a way, the Oath of Devotion Paladin and the War Domain Cleric. Those are rewards for character. Those are the results of character development, in my mind.
Yeah, no. The wizard one's just like...
You picked a weird spot to take a nap, and now funky things have happened to you.
Alright, so next chapter...
Let's scroll.
Next chapter...
Let's scroll up to the top and go to the next chapter.
Oh, I could have hit it from the bottom.
Yeah,
but the next chapter is Artificer. We're not going to be talking as much.
Yeah, because this is a whole new class, and I have not done anything with it.
Technically, it was brought in Eberron.
Yeah.
But this is the way of going, okay, so some DMs out there, looking at you, Lava, are just like, oh no, this is Eberron exclusive. Not anymore.
Right.
Not anymore.
So the change you're referring to, Wolf, was not a asked-for change by the players, but instead the result of training. Yeah, sometimes this stuff happens. Sometimes characters develop new abilities regardless of the player's input. It happens.
Alright. Ready?
Yes. Now, the Artificer is a brand spanking new class. I have very little experience with it. Let's see what we've got here.
I like this, by the way. They have this for they have something like this for every class, and I love the designs.
Yeah, every class has a cool design to it, and that happens to be the Artificer's one. So anyways, the Artificer.
Can I take this?
Yeah, sure, you can take this one.
Master of invention, artificers use ingenuity and magic to unlock extraordinary capabilities in objects. They see magic as a complex system waiting to be decoded and then harnessed in their spells and inventions. You can find everything you need to play one of these inventors in the next few sections. Artificers use a variety of tools to channel their arcane power. To cast a spell, an artificer might use alchemist supplies to create a potent elixir, calligrapher's supplies to inscribe a sigil of power, or tinkerer's tools to craft a temporary charm. The magic of artificers is tied to their tools and their talents, and few other characters can produce the right tool for a job as well as an artificer.
If I may?
Yes?
Yeah, Wolf, sometimes when a player when their character starts acting against alignment, sometimes the DM can just go, okay, this is your alignment now, because this is how your character's been behaving.
In 5e, though, alignment doesn't care that much.
Yeah, in 5e, alignment is a lot more, flexy-bendy.
Yeah, bendel flexel.
Yes.
Do you wanna take the Artificers in Many Worlds paragraph?
Yes, and I'll also take the side note from Tasha.
Of course, Miss Tasha.
A cleric acting against their usual alignment is a big no-no. Especially in 3.5. Wolf, yeah,
3.5, yes.
That is actively dangerous for that cleric to be doing.
In 3.5, yes.
In 5e, it's a little more wibbly.
I feel like alignment in 5e, it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, it holds less weight.
Unless you're actively casting the Detect Evil and Good spell.
Yeah. Oh dear, yeah, that is a bad. Oh, that's just terrible decision making on that guy's part. Apparently, the guy had some feats going that were tied to how well he was embodying his god's alignment and choices.
Ah, okay. Yeah, nope. Once again, that makes sense to rope in feats.
Before we go any further, Eobarthon has a question about what is the functional difference between chaotic neutral and chaotic evil.
Okay, difference between chaotic neutral and chaotic evil. I'm gonna pull this prank where I set this bucket full of water on top of a door, and I'm just gonna watch and wait and have a good giggle when anyone walks through there, be them the lord of this castle or my friend Bob. Chaotic evil. I'm gonna set this bucket full of dried cement on this door and have a good giggle when someone opens that door and cracks their fucking head open. Ah, shit. Damn it.
But yes, chaotic neutral just does things but does not actively intend to harm people unless provoked. Chaotic evil just does things and does not care about the consequences.
Right.
And yes, Sheldon, having your god switched regarding that cleric was a perfectly feasible consequence of their decision making.
The difference between chaotic neutral and chaotic evil is the difference between a litterer and an arsonist.
They're both still technically doing something bad, but it's the degree. And a character can be evil without being self-serving. It's just a matter of do the consequences of this choice matter to me, even though they can cause something bad. Lawful good. The difference between lawful good and chaotic good is lawful good is I will follow the rules.
Letter of the law to the letter.
Yes. Chaotic good is
I'm gonna save that person.
There?
Try to get in my way.
Yeah, it's like oh, those are rules. Yeet.
I'm gonna save that person. Try to get in my way. Chaotic good, vigilante justice. Lawful good, you're a policeman.
Yeah. A good difference, referring to something a little bit more pop culture, is Soups, Superman, and Batman.
Yeah. Superman, lawful good, Boy Scout. Batman, I'm gonna save that person, and I might break a jaw while I'm doing it.
Chaotic good.
And chaotic evil is Joker in The Dark Knight, where he's just like, I don't need the money. Whoosh! Let it burn.
He just likes burning things.
I'm here to watch the world burn.
Yeah. Fully discussing alignments would be its own video.
We will make a video on that.
Yeah. Artificers in many worlds. Throughout the D&D multiverse, artificers create inventions and magic items of peace and war. Many lives have been brightened or saved because of the work of kind artificers. But countless lives have also been lost because of the mass destruction unleashed by certain artificers' creations. In the Forgotten Realms, which is where Faerun is, and Faerun is the canonical setting for 5e, unless you are using a specific book, the island of Lantan is home to many artificers. I have no idea where Lantan is. I will need to look that up. And in the world
$5 says that's the next adventure book.
Yeah, maybe. And in the world of Dragonlance, Tinker Gnomes are often members of this class. The strange technologies in the barrier peaks of the world of Greyhawk have inspired some folk to walk the path of the Artificer. I have no idea where or... I have been scouring the internet.
Mistara?
What? Yeah,
Mistara?
I think that's the name for the world Eberron goes in because there's mention of airships.
Yeah, no, that sounds Eberron.
I have scoured the internet where D&D supplements are to be found, and I have yet to find anything that is a world guide to Greyhawk.
Yeah, I don't know.
Artificer.
I think Greyhawk's like first E.
Yeah, Greyhawk is 1st through 3.5.
They probably keep mentioning Greyhawk because so much of their history is in Greyhawk.
Yeah, but they forgot to actually write it all down.
Yeah.
And so some folk to walk the path of the Artificer, and in Mistara, which is where the Eberron setting is, Various nations employ artificers to keep airships and other wondrous devices operational. Artificers in the city of Sigil. Sigil is a city plane in the astral plane, which is sort of it's kind of a confluence point. Share discoveries from
Let's not talk about the astral plane. Planes are a different video. Don't mention planes.
Yeah, planes are their own special flavor of what on earth? And from Sigil, the gnome artificer Vi, I'm gonna say Vi, runs a cosmos-spanning business that hires adventurers to fix problems that others deem unfixable.
Now, here's the thing.
Yeah?
It's saying Vi's homeworld Eberron, as in Eberron's a world. And then we have Mystara. So is Mystara a different world?
Okay, here's what I'm thinking. Eberron is the name of the continent. Mystara is the name of the planet.
Okay. I'll let you believe that.
That's my best guess. In Vi's homeworld, Eberron, magic is harnessed as a form of science and deployed throughout society, largely as a result of the wondrous ingenuity of artificers. And here we have a note from Tasha. Artificers present cutting-edge problems, then try to solve them, loudly and often with collateral damage. So we know her opinions of them.
Yes. Speaking of which,
this
is Vi.
And that is a robotic cockatrice.
That's her eldritch cannon.
That is a robo-cockatrice.
It's her cockatrice-like eldritch cannon.
And that's some people trying to ruin her day.
Yep, and she has a gun.
Yep. Eberron is a little wild.
So, do we want to go over the whole creating an artificer thing, or do we want to go look at the class features?
Do we want to go over everything you're going to need to do to make an artificer, or should we just talk about the class features?
I have an idea.
Yes.
How about we do, like, quick builds ideas for all the classes, since we're not going to see all the stat blocks for every other class, and we start with artificer.
Right.
And we go over the class features right now, and then we do the quick build where it's like, here's the stat blocks, your hit points, your proficiencies.
Right, we'll go over the quick build and all of stuff that.
Yep. I like all these ideas that we're making up that we probably won't ever get to because we're both ADD.
Yeah.
It's like, we'll do these videos. No. 5 months later, hey, should we have done those videos?
Like, sure, we'll do these. Crickets. Yeah, artificers are the sort of inventor class, and I fully understand having to alter the spelling to stop YouTube from pitching a hissy about the word cockatrice.
Yep. So, here's the multi-classing thing. You got a lot of features.
Oh yeah. If your group uses the optional rules on multiclassing in the player's handbook, here's what you need to know if you choose Artificer as one of your classes. Ability score minimum. As a multi-class character, you must have at least an intelligence score of 13 to take a level in this class, or to take a level in another class if you're already an Artificer. Proficiencies gained. So multi-classing is one of those weird things in the D&D sphere where I've never done it
in a game, but I've done it in practice.
Yes. It's a great way to reflect story and stuff, but whether you actually use it or not is your let's just show that one. Sorry.
Show what one?
Sorry. YouTube was holding a message in the stream hostage.
Oh, okay.
But anyways, proficiencies gained. If Artificer isn't your initial class, here are the proficiencies you gain when you take your first level. This one: light armor, medium armor, shields, thieves' tools, and tinker's tools. But yeah, having at least an intelligence score of 13 means your character is above average in the primary skill this class uses. Like, you need to be above average at it.
Oh, and hey, check it out. Another class where int is the score you need.
Well, to be fair, you are doing some weird science-y shenanigans.
I know, but it's just nice that the wizard isn't the only one.
Yes. Spell slots. Add half your levels, rounded up, in the Artificer class to the appropriate levels from other classes to determine your available spell slots.
Yep. So, first level, you get magical tinkering, which is a thing.
You've learned how to invest a spark of magic into a mundane object.
Can I just, paraphrase these so we're not here reading?
Forever.
It's already 11. Yeah, it's already 11. We got 2 more hours, and there's a lot of book to cover.
Yeah.
Magical tinkering. It's basically prestidigitation, but for tinkering. You can make things shed dim light. You can record a message and then throw it. Throw the thing, and it'll utter the message. You can make a rock stink. Alright. And you can make small photographs that you can... Once again, I put these things on small things you can chuck, and this is fun. Because it's like, I make this thing say 25 words, and I toss it to my friend across the way, and then they get the message, and it's like, yeah.
Yes, and the chosen property lasts indefinitely.
Yep. And you can do this multiple objects up to your int mod.
Yep.
And then you get spells. But in order to cast spells as a tinkerer, you need some kind of artisan's tools.
Yeah.
And that's what's fun.
You need to make an object that would emulate the spell you are using.
Right, because these guys aren't magic. They're just so scientific, it seems like magic.
Right, they are so good at the science, they can emulate magic.
So, let's say you're doing the spell Cure Wounds. Well, really, you're not doing the spell Cure Wounds. You're quickly making a salve using your herbalism kit and splashing it on someone. Or for disguise self, you've tinkered together a hat of disguise and you put it on it. Disguise self.
Yes.
I don't think I need to explain grease on how you do that one. Featherfall's interesting.
I would assume that's you just cobbling together a parachute real fast.
Yeah. Also, here's a new spell, Tasha's Caustic Brew.
That seems terrifying.
Yes. Yes, it is. They have a good amount of cantrips, a good amount of first levels, but they are a half-caster. They only get up to 5th level.
Right, they're half-casters like paladins.
Yep.
But to be fair, the rest of your abilities will more than compensate for you being a half-caster.
Oh, yeah, no, there's some stupid stuff you can do. But I like the idea that, every spell is an invention, because that allows you to get inside, like, okay, how do I make a fairy fire? How do I make a heat metal, you know?
Yeah, fairy fire is pretty easy. Phosphorus paste.
There you go.
I only remember that because Yes, they're like a magical they're a pseudo-magical on-the-go crafter.
Yep.
The only reason I remember that phosphorus paste would work like the fairy fire spells because I binge Red Hound of the Baskervilles.
There you go. Second level. Second level. So all that, first level. This.
Magical items.
Item.
You can make magical items.
Yes. You get 4 Artificer infusions, which are at the bottom, and we'll go over those. And you can just do that.
Yeah. The infusion ends on an item. If an infusion ends on an item that contains other things, like a bag of holding, its contents harmlessly appear in and around its space.
Yeah. So you can have a maximum number of infusion, which is on the artificial table, And second you make one, the oldest one you made, it's not there anymore.
The oldest one you make stops working. So for this, you're going to want a very high intelligence if you want to have a proper bag of tricks.
Yep. But you can make a homunculus servant.
It's a cute little robot buddy.
Yeah, and they have pictures of ones down on the list. But
Now,
this is what you get to do as an artificer. Your friend wants boots of speeds? Alright, give you 50 gold in a day and you got it.
yeah, just give you the requirements. A link to a hard copy. Amazon is your friend.
Yep.
So apparently your infusion vanishes after a number of days equal to your intelligence modifier after your death, or if you replace your knowledge of the infusion.
Yep.
So it's like a meta magic for a sorcerer.
Well, no, sorcerers can't replace their meta magic. It's like a warlock invocation.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Because it's whenever you gain a level, you can just swap out an infusion, like an invocation.
Right, makes sense. Now comes your artificer specialty.
You're either an alchemist, an armorer, an artillerist, or a battlesmith. Which are detailed
In the
down
subclass.
after all the features.
Yep. Your choice grants you features at 5th level, and again at 9th and 15th. They also gain
And
you
of course
features.
a third when you pick it.
Yeah, and also a feature when you pick them. The right tool for the job. You've learned how to produce exactly the tool you need. With thieves' tools or artisans' tools in hand, you can magically create one set of artisans' tools in an unoccupied space within 5 feet of you.
Yeah. So it's like, hey, we need some potions. Alright, give me an hour. Okay, here's an herbalism kit. Get cracking.
Yep. The creation requires 1 hour of uninterrupted work. Yeah, or your local bookstore. You can also find this at your local bookstore. 1 hour of uninterrupted work, which can coincide with a short or long rest. Though the product of magic, the tools are non-magical, and they vanish when you use this feature again.
And then, of course, the one thing that's on every class, ability score improvement. Happens at 4th level, 8th level, basically every 4 levels except for 19th.
Right. You can increase 1 by 2 or 2 by 1. As normal, can't increase an ability score above 20.
Or you could grab a feat. There you go.
Yeah. 6th level, Tool Expertise. Your proficiency bonus is now doubled for any ability check you make that uses your proficiencies with a tool.
That's kind of handy.
Yeah. Flash of
Genius.
You've gained the ability to come up with solutions under pressure. When you or another creature you can see within 30 feet of you makes an ability check or a savings throw, you can use your reaction to add your intelligence modifier to the roll.
Either your rolls or theirs.
Yep. You can use this feature a number of times equal to your intelligence modifier, minimum of once. You regain all expended usages after a long rest. So basically, once you do this, you need to take a nap.
Yep. And Magic Item Adept. This is really fun for an artificer. You can attune to 4 magic items.
At once.
That's dumb.
If you
A
craft
whole new magic item slot.
Yeah. If you craft a magic item with a rarity of common or uncommon, it takes you a quarter of the normal time, and it costs you half as much as the usual gold required to craft it. So basically, you can make them faster and cheaper.
Yep. And then spell storing item. This is just, you can make a ring of spell storing.
But it's any object.
It's any object. You want to make a cane of spell storing? Go ahead.
Yeah, and it's not just you can store spells in any object. Which, if you want to really surprise one of your fellow party members, sneak a spell into their weapon.
They hit with the great sword. It casts fireball. Sure.
Boom.
But it has to be a first or second. So.
And it requires an
honestly.
While holding the object. Okay, so this needs to be something the character uses. It activates intentionally.
Yeah. It's just like, hey, I tricked out your shield. Hit the button on the back. Why is there a button on the back? Just do it.
Poke.
The spell now does absorb elements. The dragon's fire breath fades weakly.
Yeah. Yes, Sheldon. Intelligence should be your high stat no matter what type of artificer you make.
Yes. Intelligence is your spellcasting. It is your ability.
You need it.
I'd go intelligence, con, dex.
Yeah.
Those are your 3 high stats. For an artificer, make your dumb stat your wisdom.
Magic item savant, 14th level feature. Your skill with magic items deepens. You can attune up to 5 magical items at once.
And you ignore all requirements on attuning. You want to be a gnome with a cloak of elven kind? Do it.
And it's all class requirements too, so you can attune to a
sorcerer stuff, wizard stuff,
druid stuff.
Yeah, and then 4 levels later, 6 magic items.
Soul of Artifice.
You gain a +1 to all saving throws per magic item you're attuned to. So up to 6, you get a +6 bonus to all saves.
And if you're reduced to 0 hit points but not killed outright, you can use your reaction to end one of your Artificer infusions, causing you to drop to 1 hit point instead of 0.
Artificers are stupid. Can we say it? Can I say that out loud?
They're stupid, but they're awesome.
I want to play an Artificer. I really do.
This is one of those, they're stupid, but amazing. Yes, an Artifice... Wolf, a character could not use this ability to pick up Druidic, but they could use a Druid-specific item.
Yep. Not the language, but if the item says can only be attuned to by a Druid, nah.
A high enough level Artificer can ignore that requirement.
Nah, man, it's anyone.
Artificers pursue many disciplines. Here are specialist options you can choose from at 3rd level.
Tasha, it hurts that is accurate.
Alchemist. Now, we have a note from Tasha. The magic of both alchemists and witches relies on a powerful multiversal truth. Mortals can't resist anything with bubbles. She's not wrong!
Yeah, she's not! I play with bubbles with my puppy, and I'm even like, I want to pop them.
An alchemist is an expert at combining reagents to produce mystical effects. Alchemists can use their creations to give life and leech it away. Alchemy is one of the oldest artificer traditions, and its versatility has long been valued during times of both war and peace.
Stupid broken. Bean. Stupid broken.
Yeah. And Wolf, it's not that they can ignore the requirement to learn a druidic language, it's, let's say you have a scimitar with some really stupidly good magical effects, but due to the way it was made, it can only be used by a druid.
Artificer says nah.
A high enough level Artificer can just pick it up and start using its abilities as if they were a druid.
Yeah, Artificer says nah, that's mine.
Nah, I'm gonna use that now. Tool proficiencies. Proficiency with alchemist supplies. If you already have this, gain proficiency with one of the other ones.
Susan, can I run through this so we make good time?
Yes, Blitzkrieg.
We still have a lot of book.
Yeah, we have a lot of book and not a lot of time.
Alchemist gets some fun spells like Healing Word, Ray of Sickness, Flaming Sphere, Melf's Acid Arrow, Gaseous Form, Mass Healing Word, Blight, Death Ward, Cloud Kill, and Raise Dead eventually.
Yeah.
Alchemists gain experimental elixirs. They can bend a long rest, magically produce an experimental elixir in an empty flask, and roll on the table. It can either give healing, increase walking speed, give a +1 to AC, D4, basically bless, give you a flying speed, or give you the Alter Self spell.
These effects all last for 10 minutes or an hour in the case of the Swiftness elixir.
Right. Or instant in case of the healing.
Yes. Basically, these are great for comedy and chaos in the party, especially if your artificer can't tell what they've made.
And you can make more elixirs at certain levels. You can make 2 elixirs at 6th level and 3 elixirs at 15th. You roll for each elixir's effect separately, and each elixir requires an empty flask. So, basically what I'm saying is, save your potion bottles.
Save your potion bottles after you've drunk them, but rinse them out first. Alchemical Savant. You've developed masterful command of magical chemicals, enhancing the healing and damage you create through them. When you cast a spell using your alchemist supplies as a spellcasting focus, you gain a bonus to 1 roll of the spell. This roll must restore hit points or be a damage roll that deals acid, fire, necrotic, or poison damage, and the bonus equals your intelligence modifier at a minimum of +1. So again, intelligence. Make it your high stat.
If you heal, you can get up to, unless you're using an item that increases your maximum, which those exist, up to a +5 to that heal. I know that sounds small, but god, is it fun.
And a +5 to your damage. And,
especially if you're using that flaming sphere from your expanded spell list.
Yes, and Bean, your question about if an artificer could make a potion that restores spell slots, I'm sure one could if given the inspiration to do so.
Oh yeah, no. Once again, these are guidelines. Talk to your DM.
Yeah, these are guidelines. Talk to your DM.
So here's the thing. At 9th level, whenever a creature drinks an experimental elixir, it gains temporary hit points equal to 2d6 plus int mod.
Minimum
so
of 1.
So if you give them the healing one, they get a little bit on top of that.
Yep.
And you can cast lesser restoration so long as you're using your alchemist supplies as a spellcasting focus, equal to your intelligence mod.
Minimum of 1. So again, make your intelligence your high stat.
15th level! Screw you, black dragons! You're resistant to acid! Screw you, green dragons! You're resistant to poison!
And immune to the poisoned condition.
And you can also cast greater restoration and heal without blowing a spell slot, so long as you use the alchemist supplies.
Once you cast
that spell, you can't do it again.
Either spell with this, you can do it twice, technically, without needing a long rest. You can do greater restoration with this feature, and then you can do heal with this feature before you need to rest before using that side of this feature again.
Plus, heal, it's just straight up 70 hit points. Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah, just...
And you're up.
Yes, Bean, it is technically screw you, green, and black dragons, but clarification was necessary. The Armorer. Classic artificer logic right here. What if, when our invention goes explosively wrong, we're inside it? An artificer who focuses on making armor. Tools of the trade. You gain proficiency with heavy armor. You gain proficiency with smith's tools, like blacksmithing tools. If you already have this tool proficiency, gain proficiency with another type of artisan's tools of your choice. Here are the spells you get.
Can I say one thing?
Yes.
The Armorer was not in Eberron. This is a new subclass specifically for Tasha's.
Just to make that clear. And these are the spells you gain. Magic Missile, Thunderwave, Mirror Image, Shatter, Hypnotic Pattern, Lightning Bolt, Fire Shield, Greater Invisibility, Pass Wall, and Wall of Force.
Yeah, no, if I'm gonna be any type of armor artificer, I'd probably be an armorer just for the sweet, sweet lightning and thunder damage.
Arcane Armor. Your metallurgical pursuits have led to you making armor a conduit for your magic. As an action, you can turn a suit of armor you are wearing into arcane armor, provided you have smith's tools nearby. Oh, that would be the artillerist who we are about to get into, Wolf. And in theory, yes, you could make it's an armored vehicle, technically.
Yeah, you can do that.
If you're armored, here are the following benefits. If your armor normally has a strength requirement, no it doesn't. You can use the arcane armor as a spellcasting focus. It attaches to you and can't be removed against your will. It also expands to cover your entire body, though you can retract or deploy the helmet as a bonus action. This armor replaces any missing limbs, functioning identically to the limb it replaces.
Hey, do you want Iron Man armor in your D&D? Because here's Iron Man armor.
This is
in
how
your
you get
D&D.
Iron Man armor in your D&D. You can doff or don the armor as an action. This armor continues to be arcane armor until you don another suit of armor or you die.
And here's a cool picture of a drow and a tiefling arcane armor.
And a bunch of gnolls.
Yeah, these gnolls are having a bad time.
Yeah. Yes, it does kind of sound scary, Blinn, but this is also like a perfect defense. Armor model. You can customize your arcane armor. Guardian. You can design your armor to be in the front line of conflict. Thunder gauntlets.
Boom, baby.
Defensive field.
Thunder gauntlets. Hit something with your fist, and it does a D8 thunder.
Taser.
And the creature who got hit has disadvantage on attack rolls on anybody else but you.
Because your armor is doing a pretty glowy light show.
Defensive field. You gain temporary HP equal to your class. You lose these temp HP if you take off the armor, and you can use this bonus action equal to your proficiency bonus, not your int, and you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. If you want to play a Guardian Armor Artificer, you are playing with your strength mod, not so much your int.
Right. It's still good to have a high int.
It always is because of the other standard Artificer things. But I'm saying if you want to bump up that strength, here's how you do it.
Right. Infiltrator. You customize your armor for subtle undertakings. It has the following features. Lightning Launcher. A gem-like node appears on one of your armored fists or on the chest, your choice. It counts as a simple ranged weapon with a normal range of 90 feet and long range of 300 feet, and deals 1d6 lightning damage on a hit. Once on each of your turns when you hit a creature with it, you can deal an extra d6 to that target.
Powered steps, 5 feet extra walking. It can help, but that's not the most important thing.
Dampening field. You have advantage on stealth checks. If the armor normally imposes disadvantage on such checks, the advantage and disadvantage cancel each other as normal.
So yeah, Guardian, your war machine, Infiltrator, your standard Iron Man, fit with repulsor gauntlets.
Yep. Fifth level. Extra attack. You attack twice rather than once whenever you take the attack action on your turn.
Woo!
Armor modifications. You have learned to use your Artificer infusions to specifically modify your arcane armor. That armor now counts as separate items for the purposes of your infused items feature. Armor, the chest piece, boots, helmet, and the armor's special weapon. Each of those items can bear one of your infusions, and these infusions transfer over if you change your character's armor. If you change your armor's model with the armor model feature. In addition, the maximum number of items you can infuse at once increases to 2. But those extra items must be part of your armor.
Do you want your Thunder Gauntlets to also deal fire damage? Because you can!
Perfected armor. Your arcane armor gains additional benefits based on its model as shown below. Guardian. When a huge or smaller creature you can see ends its turn within 30 feet of you, you can use your reaction to magically force the creature to make a strength check savings throw against your spell save DC, which is why you need a high int.
Yes.
Int. Pulling the creature up to 30 feet towards you to an unoccupied space. If you pull the target to a space within 5 feet of you, you can make a melee weapon attack against it as part of this reaction.
Well, just quick thing. A lot of things can attack twice in 5e. Fighters can attack 4 times.
Yeah. You can use this reaction a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, and you regain all expended uses of it when you finish a long rest.
Guardians literally have a get over here.
Yep.
Get over here!
Any creature that takes lightning damage from your lightning launcher, glimmers with magical light until the end of your next turn. The glimmering creature sheds dim light in a 5-foot radius and has disadvantage on attack rolls against you, as the light jolts it if it attacks you. In addition, the next attack roll against it has advantage, and if that attack hits, the target takes an extra d6 lightning damage.
Infiltrator has better fairy fire. Change my mind.
Now the Artillerist. Somebody in the chat asked about bombs. This is where you make bombs.
Tasha, if you please.
Some artificers ask the hard questions. Couldn't there be even more collateral damage?
Thank you.
An artillerist specializes in using magic to hurl energy, projectiles, and explosions on a battlefield. This destructive power is valued by armies in wars on many different worlds. When war passes, some members of the specialization seek to build a more peaceful world by using their own powers to fight the resurgence of strife. The world-hopping gnome artificer Vi has been especially vocal about making things right. It's about time we fixed things instead of blowing them all to hell. Pardon my French. I'm quoting a character. Leave me alone.
Yep, nope.
Tool proficiency. 3rd level.
Cost a little bit more, Susan. You're sounding really like a mom right now.
Yeah. Tool proficiency. You gain proficiency with woodcarver's tools. If you already have this proficiency, you gain one with one other type of artifact. You gain it with one other I can make words. You gain proficiency with one other type of artisan's tools of your choice.
Artisan spells. Artillery spells. Shield. Thunderwave, because why not? Scorching Ray, because why not? Shatter, because why not? Fireball, because why not? Wind Wall, because why not? Ice Storm, Wall of Fire, Cone of Cold, and Wall of Force. You know why? Because why not?
Eldritch Cannon. You've learned how to make a magical cannon. Using woodcarver's tools.
Why not?
Using woodcarver's tools or smith tools, you can take an action to magically create a small or tiny eldritch cannon in an unoccupied space on a horizontal surface within 5 feet of you. A small eldritch cannon occupies its space, and a tiny one can be held in one hand. Once you create a cannon... Yeah, this is a human artillerist with his cannon.
With his cannon. You want a cannon?
This is how you get a cannon.
So I'm gonna fast forward a little bit here.
Yes.
So, you can make a cannon. Once you do so, you can't do it until you finish a long rest, or you can spend a spell slot to do it. You can only have one cannon at a time, and can't create one while you have one. It's got an AC of 18, a number of hit points equal to 5 times your artificer level. It's immune to poison and psychic, because it's not alive. And all of its ability scores are +0. You can mend it instead of healing it, which does heal it. Weird. Disappears if it's reduced to 0 or after 1 hour. You can determine its appearance. You can give it legs. You can determine what type of cannon it is, all based on this little table. You can use your bonus action to cause the cannon to activate if you're within 60 feet of it. Part of the same thing, you can direct the cannon to walk or climb up to 15 feet.
Eobard, asking if you can mount the cannon on a vehicle. If the vehicle is not alive, I assume you can. Like you could just bolt this thing to a cart or something and just go whee!
Yeah, you can.
Yes, it is mountable.
It has a flamethrower option, 15-foot cone, 2d8 fire, against a successful DC.
Half if it makes it.
Right. It has a force ballista, which does 2d8 force.
And if it's a creature, it is pushed up to 5 feet away.
It also has a healing function, so you can make a healing cannon. Well, it gives temporary HP, but still. It's a cannon that doesn't do damage, it protects your friends.
Yes. And to a degree, it is self-mounting and self-aiming.
Yes, because it has legs.
Arcane firearm. You can make a wand, staff, or rod into essentially a gun.
Yep.
When you cast an artificer spell through it, roll a d8, and you gain a bonus to one of the spell's damage rolls equal to the number rolled. we will get to the bombs.
Yes. I actually don't know if there's straight up bombs.
You can you can
You can flavor, like, oh hey, I have the fireball spell. Well, that looks like a bomb.
yeah, it's one of those where like you can make it do a thing. One of those like aesthetics is a thing. Like some of your spells you can make behave like a bomb, look like a bomb.
Yeah. Explosive cannons. All cannons damage rolls increase by a d8.
You can
And
command
you can blow
it
the
to
cannon.
self-destruct. Take a dexterity
Doing 3d8
save
force.
against your spell save, taking 3d8 force on a failed, or half again, or half as much on a save. Fortified position. Your opponents have you and your allies have half cover within 10 feet of a cannon you have created. As a result of a shimmering field of magical protection that cannon creates. You can now have 2 cannons at the same time.
Yeah.
Battlesmith.
You can have 2 flamethrowers.
Battlesmith.
Yeah, so does fireball.
Yeah. We have a note from Tasha.
Oh, yes. Okay, sorry.
Commanding nothing less than the power to create life, many battlesmiths turn their genius toward forging technologically remarkable puppies and kitties. Maybe I've underestimated them. Armies require protection, and someone has to put things back together if defenses fail. A combination of protector and medic, a battlesmith is an expert at defending others and repairing both material and personnel. To aid in their work, battlesmiths are accompanied by a steel defender, a protective companion of their own creation. Many soldiers tell stories of nearly dying before being saved by a battlesmith and steel defender. In the world of Eberron, battlesmiths played a key role in how Cannith's work on battle constructs and the original Warforged. And after the last war, these artificers led efforts to aid those who were injured in the war's horrific battles.
Okay, so let's do some of this real quick. Start of the Artificer, much like the start of the other Artificers, you get tools, this one's Smiths, and you get Battlesmith spells. Here they are. Best one here, the Aura of Purity and the Mass Cure Wounds. Oh, and Conjure Barrage. There, you want a machine gun? Conjure a barrage.
Yeah, that is how you do the machine gun.
You gain proficiency with martial weapons, and when you attack with a magic weapon, you can use your intelligence modifier instead of strength or dex for the attack and damage rolls. Once again, artificers are stupid.
They're awesome, but they're also stupid.
You can also just make a steel defender.
Yes, which is a construct that the appearance is customizable.
Yes. You determine the creature's appearance, whether it's 2 legs or 4. Your choice has no effect on its statistics. The defender shares your initiative count, but it takes its turn immediately after yours. It can move and use its reactions on its own, but the only action it takes on its turn is the dodge action, unless you take a bonus action to command it to take another action. Action can be one in its stat block, or some other action. If you're incapacitated, the defender can't take any of its actions. It can take any action of its choice, not just dodge. Mending spell, once again, is what heals it, and at the end of the long rest, you can make a new steel defender.
If you die, it goes with you.
Once again, the Battlesmith gets an extra attack.
You've learned new ways to harm or heal using arcane energy.
When you hit a target with a magic weapon attack, or your steel defender hits a target, you channel magic energy through the strike to create one of the following effects. An extra 2d6 force, or choose a creature object, healing energy flows into them, restoring 2d6.
That is massive. Yes,
yeah,
it is very much like the Shield Guardian creature.
Yeah.
Responding to something in chat. Yes, Sheldon.
Yeah, no.
These are very much like Shield Guardians.
Here's a gnome one with a bear.
With a Robo-Bear.
Robo-Bear. And at level 15, improved defender. The Arcane Jolt increased the healing and damage to 4d6.
Your defender gains a +2 to its armor class, and when it uses its deflect attack, the attacker takes force damage equal to 1d4 plus your intelligence modifier.
Yes. And now here's the infusions. Boy howdy, I'm gonna run through these.
Yeah, you blitz through those, I'll respond to people in chat. Yes,
You can get
Eobard, a party of artificers working together could make a tank.
Yeah. You can make arcane propulsion armor, where you get 5 extra... You can make an Iron Man suit. You can make an armor of magical strength, where it gives advantage on strength throws. You can make boots of the winding path, which you can use to teleport. Enhanced arcane focus, where you can give someone a +1 to spells and attack rolls. And you can remake it at level 10 to give a +2. Enhanced defense. It's the same thing as the first one, as the last one, but these are all just enhancements. Helm of Awareness. You can make a creature have an advantage on initiative. You can make a homunculus servant with its own little thing. Basically, if your steel defender isn't enough friend for you, you can make another friend.
I'm sorry, but the flying teapot is adorable.
I know, right?
Also the one with, like, the smiley face stuck on it.
Yeah, I personally like the Sphinx cat with wings.
Yeah, that's awesome. Mind Sharpener.
Once again, completely, you can customize that.
Mind Sharpener.
Armor robes, 4 charges. When they fail a concentration to maintain concentration on a spell, spend a charge and succeed instead.
Regains
make
1d4 expended charges at dawn.
Yep. You can make a radiant weapon to blind people, not to do radiant damage. You can make, this one's going to be fun. You can make a repeating shot. You take anything with the ammunition property and you just ignore the loading property.
So basically you can just load it as fast as you want.
Yeah, you can make a repeating crossbow.
I have seen somebody who made a attachment for a longbow that's a repeater attachment. It is terrifying. Yep.
You can replicate magic items.
Here's
what you can do with 2nd level. Here's what you can do with 6th. Which, being able to make Loves of Thievery en masse. Yeah. 10th level. Look at all this. You want a headband of intellect? Yeah, you do. You want a periaptive wound closer? Yeah, you do. 14th level. Do you want an amulet of health? Yeah, you do. Do you want a cloak of the bat? Yeah, you do. Do you want a horn of blasting? Yeah, you do.
Repulsion's shield. Resistant
Get a +1 to armor class. After being hit by a melee attack, push them back.
Yep. Resistant armor.
Get a resistance to one of these things.
Returning weapon.
Any weapon with the thrown property.
Y'all
Throw it, it's back.
Y'all know Thor's hammer from the comics? This.
Yeah, you can do that. Yeah, you can do that. Spell refueling ring. Yeah, no, the thing we said about an artificer making something to return spell slots, here it is!
Yes, it can be done!
It can only be a 3rd level or lower, but that can really help.
Yeah.
Especially at 6th level. Damn.
Yeah, this is nice. Artificers are stupid good.
Damn. I'm just sitting here, like, motioning with my hands, like, damn.
Yeah.
Alright, and we finally get to move on to Barbarian.
This bit's gonna go a bit faster because we're just looking at new subclasses.
Yes. Barbarian. Finally, we get to look at this cool design. Enjoy it.
Yep. Optional class features.
Yes. So at 3rd level, you get something called primal knowledge.
You would need to consult with these. Consult your DM.
Yes. Because these are replacing the original features found in the core rulebook with new features.
These features can be selected separately from one another. You can use one list, you use this book's list, you can use the player's guide list, or you can use both or none.
Yep.
When you reach 3rd level, and again at 10th, you gain proficiency in one skill of your choice from the list of skills available to barbarians at 1st level.
And then 7th level, part of the bonus action you take to enter your rage, move half your speed.
Yep. At 3rd level, yes, now these are subclasses that you will be able to pick.
Yes, the first one, Path of the Beast.
And here we have a note from Tasha. You have to respect anyone who lets their inner beast out for a brisk jog and healthy throat ripping. Good lord, woman!
I love Tasha, I really do.
Yeah, she's cool. It's one of those like, I like her, but she's still kind of scary. So what does this do?
So, first you gotta roll for your origin.
One of your parents is a lycanthrope. You're descended from an archdruid. A fey spirit likes you. An animal spirit. Ancient animal spirit dwells within. Once you pick your origin, you become this. You can do things very much like this.
Yes. So at level 3, you can choose each time you rage, you get a natural weapon, and you can choose every time you rage a different one. You can either choose a bite.
Bean, we haven't gotten to the warlock yet, but I'm pretty sure there'll be something there besides Hexblade. Can.
Oh yeah, no, there's some new fun stuff for warlocks too. Trust me. And there's some new stuff that makes Pact of the Tome so good.
You can gain a bite attack.
And once per turn, when you hit with the bite attack, you get a number of HP equal to your proficiency bonus.
We're not gonna explain where those extra hit points are coming from.
You can get a claw.
You can gain claw attacks.
And every time you hit with one on each turn, if you hit with a claw, you can make another claw attack without expending your extra attack feature.
Right. And you can gain a spiky, lashy tail.
That has reach.
Deals 1d8, has reach. If a creature you can see within 10 feet hits you with an attack roll, you can use a reaction to swipe your tail and roll a d8, applying a bonus to your AC equal to the number you rolled, potentially causing the attack to miss.
So, bite for healing, claws for offensive, and tail for defensive.
And you do not have to pick one and stick with it. You can manifest any of these you want.
You have to pick it when you rage, though.
Yes, but each rage you can pick something different.
Right, but if you pick the claws and all of a sudden you realize, I should have grabbed the tail, too late. This is what you're doing.
You're stuck, but you can improv. Bestial Soul, the feral power within you increases. You gain a swimming speed. Choose one of these. Swimming speed equal to your walking speed. Breathe underwater. You can...
Climbing speed.
And you can scramble around. You can climb difficult surfaces, including upside down on ceilings without needing to make an ability check. When you jump, make an athletics check and extend your jump by number of feet equal to the check's total. You can make this special check only once a turn. That is terrifying.
Yeah, you can just...
You just go, whee!
But, you choose one of these every time you finish a rest, short or long, and you can change it every time you finish a rest.
That is extreme Swiss Army knife.
Yeah, no, that's what this is. You know the shifter race that was shown in, I think, Ravnica?
No, shifters are Eberron.
Okay, yeah, shifters. Either way, you're basically a shifter barbarian.
We are getting so many jokes about nomming faces.
Yeah. Infectious Fury. Check this one out.
You have rabies.
Basically, but it's psychic rabies.
That's in a way worse.
Yeah, so either you hit someone and you can curse them with the beast in you curses them with rabid fury. And they gotta succeed a wisdom saving throw, which you add your con mod to, or suffer an effect.
High con is having a
high
con mod
always good for barbarians.
Anyway, It must use their reaction to make a melee attack against another creature of your choice you can see, which means you can make that thing beat up its friends.
Yep, or it takes 2d12.
Yeah, that's terrifying. You can use this feature a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, and you regain all expended usages when you finish a long rest.
Now, here's the thing. Have you ever wanted your barbarian to be a paladin?
Because this is how that happens.
This is how you make a barbarian a paladin.
Don't worry, Blinn. Unprovoked barbarians tend to be pretty okay people. Sometimes a little rough around the edges, but okay.
Yeah. You can choose up to equal con mod. Choose up to creatures equal to your con mod. For every creature that accepts this howl to the hunt, this call to the hunt, you, the barbarian, gain 5 temp HP. The chosen creatures can roll a d6 and add it to... They basically get a Bardic Inspiration d6, and you get temp HP for each creature that accept that d6. Which, if you're doing this with a party of friends at level 14, I don't know who isn't accepting this.
Yeah. And now we have something fun for if you want to knead in some weirdness.
Yeah.
Path of Wild Magic. A note from Tasha.
Take it away, Tasha?
A note from Tasha. I don't recommend letting magic take the reins, but I'm not your mom. Live deliciously. Tasha.
Yes. Here we have a wood elf barbarian, Path of the Wild Magic.
Yes, he is sprouting flowers everywhere. Question nothing.
So, Path of the Wild Magic. Level 3. Until the end of the... You can use your action to open your awareness to the presence of concentrated magic. You can cast Detect Magic as a barbarian!
When you sense a spell, you also learn what school of magic it belongs to. Gesundheit.
Thank you. And you can do this a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus. You can cast Detect Magic as a barbarian. And then, every time you rage, you roll on a new wild magic table.
If an effect requires a saving yeah.
Saving throw, it's 8, your proficiency mod, your con mod.
Yeah.
Number 1. Everything within 30 feet of you must succeed a con... Everything of your choice must succeed a con save or take a d12, and then you gain a d12 temp HP. Number 2, you teleport, and you can... It's Blink. You have the spell Blink. You can teleport every turn at the end of a bonus action.
To answer your question, Blinn, wild magic is... Basically, it's magic that cannot be fully contained and controlled.
Yeah, it's wild. It's naturally occurring magic that its effects are random and out of control.
It is extremely difficult to control.
Yeah. Number 3. An intangible spirit, which either looks like a flump or a pixie, your choice, appears within 5 feet of one creature that you can see within 30 feet of you. At the end of the current turn, it explodes!
And each creature within 5 feet of it must succeed on a dex throw or take 1d6 force damage.
Until your rage ends, you can just do this again every bonus action on your turn.
4. Magic infuses one weapon of your choice. It changes to force damage, and it gains the light and thrown property, with a normal range of 20 feet and long range of 60 feet. If the weapon leaves your hand, the weapon reappears in your hand at the end of your current turn. So basically...
You want to throw that great axe? Throw that great axe.
And then it pops back, and then it will yeet back to your hand so you can do it again!
Yep. Number 5, you gain a rebuke.
That's essentially what that does.
Yeah. Number 6, you get a +1 to AC, and any ally within 10 feet of you does as well.
7. Flowers and vines temporarily grow around you until your rage ends. The ground within 15 feet of you is difficult terrain for your enemies.
And number 8,
Lasers.
chest laser.
And you get an 8, chest lasers.
And you can do it every turn as a bonus action until you're out of your rage.
Just whee!
Number 6. You can harness wild magic to bolster yourself or a companion. For some reason, they've decided to add D3s to this.
Yeah, that's... Some people will swip that to a D4 and just ignore a 4.
Yeah. Or some people just make it a D4.
Whenever making a spell an attack roll or ability check, add the results of that die roll to the D20 roll. Roll said die. The creature regains an expended spell slot, level of which equals the number rolled or lower, creature's choice. Once a creature receives this benefit, it can't receive it again until after a long rest.
Yeah. Once again, unless they're packaging a D3 with the book, which I don't think they are, I think that should have been a D4.
Yeah, just swap it to a D4.
This is the weirdest thing about wild magic.
Have I ever played a character that uses wild magic? No. I tend to prefer draconic soul or divine soul sorcerers for when I play sorcerers.
Storm soul all the way. Storm soul all the way.
You like it because lightning shenanigans.
Yeah, 100%. But you bet your perky right butt cheek I'm going to be playing a Path of Wild Magic Barbarian.
This is all so cool.
Yeah,
Unstable backlash. When you are imperiled during your rage, the magic within you lashes out. Roll on the wild magic table and immediately produce the effect rolled. This effect replaces your current effect.
Yep. So it's basically, I take damage. Switch!
Controlled surge. You can roll the die twice and choose which of the two effects to unleash. If you roll the same number on both die, ignore that number and pick one.
Yep. So if you really like number 6, because that one seems the best, these don't get any bonuses, they don't increase damage or anything. Number 6 seems the best at higher levels. Or number 5. Every time the dragon hits me, it's going to take a d6.
Yeah, if the dice gods are in your favor, you can just pick those.
Or roll double, and one's a number 1. It's great, the temporary hit points, but the other one's a number 6.
Yeah, sometimes a +1 to armor class is really helpful.
Now for one of my favorite classes.
The Bard.
The Bard!
Again, love that design.
Yes, the loot.
It's nice, clean, and simple.
Optional class features. First one, not optional. Expanded spell list for bards.
First level, color spray, command. Second level, aid, enlarge or reduce, mirror image. Third level, intellect fortress. I think that's a new one.
Yes, anything with an asterisk is new in this book.
Right. Oh dear.
What?
The stream chat referred to bards. Oh boy, I'm going to use a different word here. The frisky rock stars.
Yep.
Fourth level.
That's exactly what we are, baby.
Fourth level, phantasmal killer. Fifth level, Rary's telepathic bond, cast as ritual. Sixth level, Hero's Feast. Seventh level, Dream of the Blue Veil. That's a new one. Prismatic Spray. Eighth level, Antipathy or Sympathy. And ninth level, you can cast Prismatic Wall as a bard.
Ninth level, gonna cast Prismatic Wall. Alright, here's Wonder Wall.
Magical Inspiration. Level 2 bardic feature. So die from you and cast a spell that restores hit points or deals damage. The creature can roll a die and choose a target affected by the spell. Basically, it's another way to use bardic inspiration.
Yep. 4th level, Bard Versatility. Whenever you gain an ability score, you can do one of the following. Replace one of the skills you chose for expertise with a different one, or replace one cantrip from the class with a different cantrip.
And here we have a dragonborn bard.
A dragonborn bard of the College of Creation animates a statue to dance.
That's kind of cool, not gonna lie.
Welcome to the one new bard college, because the College of Eloquence is from Theros.
Yes, but this is it here presented again, just in case somebody didn't buy the Theros book.
Right.
Prismatic Wall is a defense spell that is 7 multicolored layers, 90 feet long, 30 feet high, 1 inch thick. Alternatively, you could shape it to a sphere up to 30 feet in diameter. 7 layers, each of a different color. When a creature attempts to reach or pass through the wall, does so 1 layer at a time. Each layer does a different kind of damage.
Or a different effect, or it's something.
Yeah.
Prismatic Wall is a stupid 9th level spell, and I love it.
Yeah. At 3rd level, the bard gains access to a bardic colleges, which offers you a subclass. The following options are available to you when making that choice, in addition to the ones found in the player's guide. College of Creation. A note from Tasha. One bard's song of creation is the score to another person's nightmares.
Yes. So this one. Hi. Welcome to Bards. We're gonna do some things.
Yep.
The College of Creation draw on the primeval song through dance, music, and poetry, and their teachers share this lesson. Before the sun and the moon, there was the song, and its music awoke the first dawn. Its melody so delighted in the stones and the trees that some of them gained a voice of their own, and now they sing too. Learn the songs, students, and you too can teach the mountains to sing and dance.
Dwarves and gnomes often encourage their bards to join the College of Creation, and among Dragonborn, the Song of Creation is sacred, for legends portray Bahamut and Tiamat, the greatest of dragons, as 2 of the song's first singers.
So, here's what we do. Whenever you give a creature a bardic inspiration die, nice little d6, bigger later.
We have a comment from the stream chat. Well, we know how the bard and the dragon ended. Points at the dragonborn bard.
Yep.
And Bryn, because of how high a level Prismatic Wall is, it's actually pretty okay for its class level. But,
yeah, you can only really cast it once a day.
Yeah, and then you'll need to do it again.
Yeah, and
it takes
this is okay, the dragon's coming. Balls up.
Brace yourselves. Although in one campaign we did have a barbarian, this is a 3/5 barbarian, in a rage, physically bash himself through 6 of the 7 layers.
Yep.
3/5 barbarians were insane.
Yeah, so here's what happens. When you give someone a bardic inspiration, it gets a mote of potential. Looks like a musical note, a star, a flower, or another symbol of art or life that you choose. When the creature uses its bardic inspiration, the mote provides an additional effect based on whether the die benefits an ability check, an attack roll,
or a saving
throw. And when it benefits an attack roll, you have advantage on that bardic inspiration roll.
Attack roll. It explodes.
Immediately after the creature roll. Yeah, it explodes. And a saving throw, it gives temp HP.
How do bards do what they do? Nobody really knows for certain how bards do what bards do.
We strum fast enough that the world bends to our will.
Yes. Some people think that music is close enough to magic that there's some overlap, and in that overlap, bards people who can manipulate both will sometimes awaken their ability to do magic as with their music and become a bard.
Yep. So performance of creation. This is the stupid thing for this class.
You can
take any non-magical item within 10 feet of you. It can't be worth more than 20 times your bard level in gold, and it must be medium or smaller. You can create that item, and it glimmers softly, and you hear faint music. Dissipates after an hour is equal to your proficiency bonus. You can only do it once a day unless you spend a second spell or higher. Then you can eventually just start making large or huge things.
Yeah.
And this is a prelude to the next one.
Animating performance.
Yep.
As an action, you can
create
target
a dancing item.
Yep. And it will... that image we saw up top of the dancing statue?
That's one of them.
Oh, she meant one of the barbarians? Again, this is one of those, who knows?
Yeah.
Wild magic doesn't necessarily make sense.
So here's what I want you to really think about, Susan.
Yes.
I can create an item and then immediately use animate objects on it, basically.
That has the potential to be terrifying.
And if anyone starts their turn near it,
they are affected by
decrease
the
their walking
irrepressible
speed.
dance.
Yeah. And it can hit.
Yeah.
And then you can create 2 items, animate them. It's just, I'm creating the
things.
Yeah. So, you want to read this Tasha quote
College
here?
of Eloquence. Note from Tasha. Note to self. Revisit work on a speech negating spell. Necessity level ear bleeding.
Yeah. So, College of Eloquence, we saw it in the Theros guide. Also, we have this Drow College of Eloquence lady, who is new art because Drows don't exist in Theros.
Yep.
And I love her.
And that is a dagger strapped to her forearm.
Yes, it is, and there's a spider on her cloak.
So she might be affiliated with Lolth.
Yeah. But
the barbarian who broke 6 layers of the prismatic barrier, in 3.5, I may be remembering this wrong, but barbarians, when they were raging, had some degree of damage resistance. So... And he had such a high con modifier, he had a crap ton of hit points, so he could just beat himself through it by sheer force and survive. And, Drow do not exist in the setting of Theros, and neither do any of the other elven races. If you want to play an elf in the land of Theros, one needs to have gotten there somehow and is very lost.
Yep. And it is Lolth.
Yeah, I'm just pronouncing it how it's spelled. It is spelled Lolth. And yes, the Drow lady is quite pretty.
Yes, she is.
She's probably very dangerous, but she's also very pretty.
Oh, with the College of Eloquence, yeah. So College of Eloquence. You can't roll lower than a 10 for persuasion or deception checks. At 3rd level.
Yeah, that is terrifying.
Yeah, you can unsettle things. Spend a bardic inspiration, choose something you see, roll the die. The next saving throw that creature makes, it must subtract the total you rolled.
So it's like a negative version of the bardic inspiration from the regular books.
Yep. Unfailing inspiration.
Your inspiring words are so persuasive that others feel driven to succeed. When a creature adds one of your bardic inspiration dice to its ability check, attack roll, or saving throw, but fails, the creature can keep the bardic inspiration die for later.
Universal speech. As an action, up to charisma mod creatures, you can cast tongues.
Basically. Everything understands you.
Yep.
And, I'm not sure I follow your question, Blinn. Anywho, infectious inspiration. Basically,
when someone adds a bardic die, somebody else gets one.
And you don't expend any usages to do it.
Yep. Eloquence bards are fun.
Yeah.
To clerics, who have 3 things that we're going to be going over.
Good lord. New cleric spells.
Yeah, no new first or second.
The summon spells are back.
Yes, they are.
That is going to be so freaking busted.
And for some reason, clerics didn't have power word heal before.
It may be one of those where, like, they had it in 3.5, they forgot about it in 5th, and the rest, oh, wait a minute!
Oh, so, Blinn, when you roll on a d20, for that, thing, let's say you rolled a 9 on the die. Well, thanks to that feature, it really means you rolled a 10.
Which you then add your things to. It can be a real lifesaver.
Yep. You can't natural 1. Because no, I rolled a 10.
That is huge. A new thing you can do is harness divine power.
Yep, you can regain a spell slot.
Which is touch your holy symbol, say a prayer to your god, and you get a spell slot back. Level of which can be no higher than half your proficiency bonus, rounded up.
There you go.
This is one of those instances where the round down rule we mentioned closer to the beginning of this stream does not apply. You can use it once at 2nd level, twice at 6th level, and 3 times at 18th level. You regain all expended usages when you finish a rest.
The cantrip versatility. When you get an ability score, you can replace a cantrip
swap
instead.
A cantrip. What we mean by when we refer to a die roll number as a natural, that means that is the number that came up on the die. Without any modifiers or anything like that. This is the number as it is. For example, Let's say I'm rolling a check and I have in a skill and I have no modifiers, no proficiency bonus, nothing. What I roll naturally, what chance gives me on the die, is what I've got, and I've got to stick with it unless I have advantage.
Yep. Also, Blessed Strikes.
When a creature takes damage, you can also deal 1d8 radiant.
Yeah, you can replace Divine Strikes or Potent Spellcasting.
Yes, at 1st level, a cleric gains the Divine Domain feature, which offers you a choice of subclass.
Yeah.
Following options are available to you. Order Domain, Peace Domain, and Twilight Domain.
So Order Domain is a carryover from Ravnica.
Yep.
This is the Azorius domain, and Peace and Twilight are 2 brand new domains.
Right. And here is the note from Tasha. Finally, a whole faith about coloring inside the lines.
Yep. And here is a Order Domain Cleric.
Who is about to do something.
Yeah.
She looks sad and scared, and I don't know why.
But here's some,
Right. But, yeah, Blinn, a natural, if the die presents you a 1, unless you have that bard ability,
failure.
Fails, what you're trying to do fails catastrophically.
Critical failure.
Yes. If it's a 20, though, you succeed above and beyond the expectations of everyone around you. A critical success. You want a 20.
And that's not Tasha. That's not Tasha Wolf.
Well, no, the joke is that this girl might be looking at a very angry Tasha. Hence the...
We get some new order domain spells.
Could we scroll up for one quick second?
Sure.
Yep. Here are deities that, as of this book, have the order domain tacked on. In Eberron, you have the god Orion. In the Forgotten Realms, you have the gods Bane and Tyr. In Dragonlance, you have I'm not going to try to pronounce that. And in Greyhawk, you have Foltas and Ouijas.
Order domain extra spells.
And yes, very much like your example, Sheldon. First level, Command, Heroism. Third, Hold Person, Zone of Truth. Fifth, Mass Healing Word, Slow. Seventh, Compulsion and Locate Creature. Ninth, Commune and Dominate Person.
At first level, you get Heavy Armor and Intimidation or Persuasion. Your choice.
Voice.
Here's an order domain. Cleric.
Is that a westerny sheriff star on his shield?
Yeah, with a wanted poster in the middle.
That's hilarious.
I want that shield. I don't know what his weapon is either.
Yeah. In D&D, you are gonna want as high a number as possible. Call of Cthulhu is its own special flustercluck of a game system.
So also at level 1, I'm just gonna run through this because it's 12:15.
Yeah. Let's just blitzkrieg this. We may have to do a part 2.
We might.
Yeah.
So let's just try to get through the classes in this stream. Next stream we'll look at magic.
Yep. Memorable critical successes. There was actually one a couple of sessions back in Dice Sesh, the one with Ava and that Sentinel thing.
I'm sorry, I'm so focused on getting ready to speed read.
Okay, you speed read, I explain.
I don't want to be talking over you, so...
Okay, so basically what Ava did was, she'd gotten behind it somehow, and she saw a chink in its... So, in Theros, there are essentially constructs you can fight. One of the bigger ones decided to come and try and fight us because of one of our party members. We were defending this party member, and Ava successfully got behind the thing and took a shot with her bow. Because she was behind the creature and there was nobody within 50 feet of her, she was able to apply her sneak attack die, and she critted and successfully, I'm gonna say killed it.
Yep.
Just, between stock thud. It was a time. Okay, so.
Alright, I'm gonna go.
Do your thing.
Voice of Authority. If you cast a spell with a first level or higher and target an ally with it, they can use their reaction immediately after the spell to make a weapon attack. Yay. Basically, healing word someone. That guy. Attack! Channel Divinity. Orders demand. As an action, present your holy symbol, and each creature of your choice that can hear or see you within 30 feet must succeed a wisdom save or be charmed until it takes damage, or at the end of your next turn. You basically just stop. And they go, yeah, sure.
And they go, okay.
Level 6, Embodiment of the Law. If you cast a spell of the Enchantment School using the first or higher slot, you can change the spell's casting time to a bonus action, provided the casting time is normally 1 action. You can use this feature in number of times equal to your Wisdom mod. And you gain all spend use on when you finish a long rest. Divine Strike. 8th level. Every time you hit with an attack, it does an extra d8. At 14th level, it increases to 2d8.
Yep.
Orders Wrath. If you hit someone with Divine Strike damage, you can curse it. Next time one of your allies hits it, it takes another 2d8. Set them up, somebody else, knock them down.
Yep.
Tasha, may you introduce the Peace Domain?
Yes. Peace Domain. Have these peaceful clerics even considered that they're subverting a most holy system? One where bad decisions coincide with the teaching power of pain? Tasha's opinion on Peace Domain clerics.
Yes. Here are the Peace Domain gods. One specifically for the elves, one specifically for the halflings, one specifically for the gnomes, one specifically for the dwarves. The only Forgotten Realms one being Eldath. Not a lot of people like peace, I guess.
And Paladin for the Dragonlance universe, but not a lot of people use Dragonlance.
Right.
Free domain spells.
Peace domain spells. Heroism, Sanctuary, Aid, Warden Bond, Beacon of Hope, Sending, Aura of Purity, Otilux, Resilient Sphere, Greator, Restoration, Rare's Telepathic Bond, and that's it. At first level, you gain proficiency in Insight, Performance, or Persuasion. Your choice. And you also get an Emboldened Bond. You choose a number of willing creatures within 30 feet of you. This can include yourself, equal to your proficiency bonus. You create a magical bond among them for 10 minutes, or until you do this again. When any bonded creature is within 30 feet of another, they get Bless.
Yep.
They can only do Bless once a turn, though, instead of Bless is normal whenever you want. Second level, which is gonna be abused, I swear to God. Your channel divinity you can make your very presence a soothing balm. As an action, you can move up to your speed without provoking opportunity attacks. And when you stop when you just pass 5 feet of another creature, you restore hit points equal to 2d6 plus Wisdom modifier.
Minimum of +1.
A creature can receive this healing only once whenever you do this.
Yep. Protective Bond.
The bond you forge between people helps them protect each other. When a creature affected by your emboldening bond feature is about to take damage, a second bonded creature within 30 of the feet of the first can teleport to an unoccupied space within 5 feet. The second creature then takes all the damage instead.
That sounds really helpful to just bond the squishy to the big damage sponge dude.
Yeah, the wizard about to get hit. Hey, barbarian who hasn't taken any damage, you mind?
Pop! Smart.
Potent spellcasting. Add wisdom mod to any damage you deal with a cleric cantrip. Yay! Expansive bond.
Basically,
the benefits
doubles the
are
distance.
now 60 feet, and if a creature uses that protective bond teleport, the creature has resistance to that damage no matter what type it is.
Twilight Domain. Tasha's opinions. I can't believe I'm writing this, but I think I could get behind a faith focused on mood lighting and evening wear.
Welcome to the Twilight Domain.
The Twilight transition from
Big picture for everyone.
Yep.
This is my aesthetic.
The Twilight transition from light into darkness often brings calm and even joy, as the day's labors come to an end, as the hours of rest begin. The darkness can also bring terrors, but the gods of twilight guard against the horrors of the night. Clerics who serve these deities, examples of which appear on the table below, bring comfort to those who seek rest and protect them by venturing into the encroaching darkness to ensure that the dark is a comfort, not a terror.
Here are the gods.
Seluna
is going to be the one that's going to make the most sense.
Yeah, the god involved. Yeah, Selune is the big one because she is the elven deity that her entire symbol is the freaking moon.
Yep. Nope, Selûne's going to make the most sense.
Yeah,
I'm going to go speed reading now.
Yes,
you ready?
Do your thing.
Domain spells. Fairy Fire, Sleep, Moonbeam, See Invisibility, Aura of Vitality, Leomid's Tiny Hut, Aura of Life, Greater Invisibility, Circle of Power, and Mislead, which is a favorite of mine. You gain a proficiency with martial weapons and heavy armor, and you can see through the deepest gloom. You have dark vision up to 300 feet. You can see dim light as if it were bright light, and darkness as if it were dim light. You can magically share the dark vision with willing creatures up to your wisdom mod, and it lasts for an hour. That's so much fun!
Yeah.
You also get Vigilant Blessing at first level. You can tap somebody and give them advantage on initiative.
You can also do this to yourself.
Yes. Your Channel Divinity, which is the bread and butter of clerics, present your holy symbol, and a sphere of twilight emanates from you. It's a 30-foot radius and filled with dim light. Sphere moves with you, lasts for a minute, or until you're incapacitated or die.
Whenever
a creature
including you,
ends its turn in the sphere. Who's reading, Susan?
My bad.
Thank you. You can grant it one of these benefits. It gets temporary HP equal to a d6 plus cleric, or you can end an effect on it causing you to be charmed or frightened.
That can be impressive.
Yes, it can. Somebody runs screaming from the dragon's frightful presence into the sphere. It can't get all the way out. Ends turn. Not afraid anymore.
I'm all better now.
Yep. Steps of the night. When you're in dim light or darkness, you can give yourself a flying speed.
It's like, I can fly!
You can fly, you can fly, you can fly, you can fly. Your Divine Strike is radiant damage flavored this turn. And the 17th level. Any ally in the sphere has half cover.
And you forgot to mention that when you reach 14th level, the extra damage increases to 2d8.
Thank you, Susan. But this one's the big one.
Yeah, half cover, which means your opponents have disadvantage against you.
Yep. Next chapter, Druids!
My personal favorite class.
We got some optional class features, including new spells, including Summon Beast, Summon Fae, Summon Elemental. And they gave them Incendiary Cloud.
Because, whee!
They also gave Druids Revivify.
Makes sense.
Yeah. They have Resurrection, why can't they have the weak version?
Yeah.
You also get this new feature called Wild Companion.
3.5 gave druids animal companions as well, but this has brought it back.
Yep. You can expend a use of Wild Shape to cast Find Familiar without material components.
When you cast a spell in this way, your familiar is Fae instead of a beast, and it disappears after a number of hours equal to half your druid level. You can recall it.
Yes. You just gotta use a Wild Shape thing to do it.
Yeah.
Cantrip versatility, we saw this before.
New druid circles. Well, one of these is new. One of these is not new.
Two of these are new. One is old.
Right. Circle of Spores is an import from,
Ravnica.
Yep. Tasha's opinions on the Circle of Spores. I'm an avid collector of spores, mold, and fungi. My most prized find being a sapien zugmata from the depths of Mount Zogon. I wouldn't want it staring a corpse around and touching my stuff, though. Tasha?
Yes. Here is a Circle of Spores gnome with its bullywog zombie companion.
It's adorable until you mentioned that the bullywug is a zombie.
Yep. Bullywug's a zombie, controlled by mushrooms. So, level 2, you get Chill Touch cantrip, and you get this expanded spell list. 3rd level, Blindness and Deafness, Gentle Repose. 5th level, Animate Dead. That's the big one.
Yeah, that's essentially, hey, druids, do you want to play with necromancy?
2nd level, Halo of Spores. You can use your reaction to deal a d4 damage to anything within 10 feet of you, unless it saves a con save. The die size increases at certain levels, 6th, 10th, and 14th.
At 6th level, it becomes 1d6. At 10th level, it becomes 1d8. And it becomes 1d10 at 14th level.
Yep, and that's just... No. Here's the big thing. Symbiotic Entity. Expand to use Wild Shape to awaken the spores. Rather than giving you a beast form, you gain 4 temp HP for each level you have in the class. Your Halo of Spores damage increases to 2 of whatever the die is, and your weapon attacks deal a d6 necrotic.
These benefits last for 10 minutes.
Or until you lose all the temporary hit points. Or until you use Wild Shape again. Those last 2 markers are a big factor. If you lose all your temp HP, you're gonna have to cast it again.
Yep.
This is powerful. 6th level.
Remember the game
can
The
make a
Last of
zombie.
Us?
Yeah, you can make a zombie. You can make a zombie.
You can make a Last of Us zombie.
You can make a zombie.
Yep. It only really lasts for like an hour, though.
Yes, but we can make a zombie. 10th level. You can throw your spores, make a 10-foot cube, and whenever something walks in there, it takes your Halo of Spores damage, which, because your Symbiotic Entity feature has to be on, is 2 of those pretty dice.
Yep.
But you can't use your reaction Halo of Spores. And Fungal Body, which is the stupid broken part of this class that I love. You cannot be blinded, deafened, frightened, or poisoned. You can't get hit with a critical hit unless you're incapacitated.
Yeah.
Critical negation.
Is busted.
Yeah. And then Circle of Stars.
Tasha's thoughts on the Circle of Stars. What about the dark places between the stars? Don't you realize that's where the good stuff is?
Circle of Stars, you can draw in the power of the starlight. You can create star maps. You can look like this elderly tiefling wizard man.
Pretty sure that's a druid, but okay.
But doesn't he look wizardy?
Yes.
With the staff and the cloak?
Yeah, he does look very wizardy.
It's just like, I want to make this character, I really do. At 2nd level, you get a star map. You can determine there is a star map table where you can determine its form. You can make one up. You can just choose one off the table. But while you're holding the map, you know the guidance cantrip. You have Guiding Bolt prepared, counts as a druid spell, and it doesn't count against the number of spells. And you can cast it without expending a spell slot equal to your proficiency bonus. It's dumb.
It's good, but it's dumb.
Here's the table.
Of what yours looks like?
Of what it can look like.
It can look ways other than this.
Yeah, if you have an idea, go for it.
Yeah.
And then at level 2, hey, do you not like becoming a beast in your wild shape? Here's another way to use it. You can take a starry form. You can choose what constellation appears on your starry form. You shed bright light in 10-foot radius. It lasts for 10 minutes. You can dismiss it early, or it goes away if you die, get knocked out, or use the feature again. There are 3 constellations you can choose.
The Archer.
First is an Archer. You can make a bonus action ranged spell attack where you just shoot an arrow that does a d8 plus wisdom.
Which, if you're a druid, you tend to have a very high wisdom.
And most of your spells are actions, so hurl out that flaming sphere and shoot a radiant bolt.
Yeah. The Chalice.
Whenever you cast a spell that restores HP, yourself or a different creature within 30 feet get a d8 plus wisdom healed as well. And the dragon is stupid. The dragon's stupid. Whenever you make an intelligence or a wisdom check, or a con save to maintain concentration. You cannot roll lower than a 10.
On an intelligence or wisdom check, or a throw to maintain a spell.
Stupid. That's stupid, and I love it.
Yes, it's awesome. Cosmic Omen.
Yes, you can check your, when you finish a long rest, check your star map for omens. When you do so, roll a die. If you rolled an even number, you get wheel. When you see a creature about to make an attack within 30 feet of you, you can roll a d6 and add it to the total. Or woe. When you see a creature within 30 feet of you is about to make an attack, you can roll your d6 and subtract.
Basically, yes, Wolf. And you can use this reaction a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, and regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest.
Yeah, so that dragon claw coming down, I roll a d6. It has to subtract 4. It misses! Woo!
Just whee!
Yeah, so twinkling constellations, your starry forms improve.
The d8 of the archer and chalice become 2d8, and while the dragon is active, you have a flying speed of 20 feet and can hover. And at the start of each of your turns, while your starry form is active, you can change which constellation is on your body.
Yep. Without expending another use of wild shape. That's the big part.
Yeah, without expending a wild shape.
And at 14th level, while in your starry form, you gain resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing.
Because you're partially incorporeal.
Yep.
And the spell for the pyromania and the circle for the pyros in the audience. Circle of Wildfire. Tasha's opinions. Yep. I can't tell you how many times I've burnt everything to the ground and started over.
And here's our wildfire druid with their wildfire spirit.
It's a little fox buddy!
Yep. Doesn't look like a pyromaniac. It looks like a guardian, and I really like the look.
Yeah, I like the way they've decided to go with it.
Yeah. So, you get new spells. Yay. Burning Hands, Cure Wounds, Flaming Sphere, a lot of fire.
A lot of resto as well.
Yeah, a lot of restoration. Because you are the fire that burns to make way for the new growth.
Yeah.
Can you hear my dog?
We can vaguely hear the fluff ball losing its mind.
Yep, great.
But that's okay.
So, other thing, you get a primal fire spirit. You can use wild shape to summon it.
How it looks is entirely up to you. Some spirits take a humanoid form made of gnarled branches covered in fire, while others look like beasts wreathed in fire, as we saw with the little fox.
Fire.
Yes.
Here's its stat block.
Wolf, no, phoenixes do not apply to this. You
can make a firebird, but it's not a phoenix.
Yes, you can have a firebird, but not an actual phoenix. Phoenixes are elder class elementals, and summoning one is the indication of a bad time.
Yeah. 6th level. Whenever you deal fire damage or restore hit points while your wildfire spirit's up there, roll a d8 and you gain a bonus equal to the number rolled to damage or healing.
Yep.
And when you cast a spell with range other than self, it can come from the spirit.
Which is great for if you need to jigger with the range. Oh, okay, you're referring to the symbolism of the phoenix, the healing paired with the flame. That makes more sense than what I thought you were talking about. My bad.
Yep. So, 10, Cauterizing Flames.
Ability to turn into
whenever you kill something small or larger, spectral flames come from the dead body. I need a drink. A lot of talking.
Yes.
So, creature enters that space of the fire. You can extinguish the flame and either heal or damage. So it's like, your friend's like, okay, that intellect devourer, go stand on it. Why? It'll heal you.
The other person, okay, but why? And yes, I have seen a 5e Phoenix's stat block. I want none of that.
Yeah, nope, none of that.
Blazing
So-
Revival.
Yeah. This is kind of Phoenixy.
Your bond with it
Bond
can
with your-
save you from death.
Yep. Spirit within 120 feet, and you're dropped to 0. You can drop the spirit to 0. You gain half your hit points and immediately rise to your feet.
And then you can immediately resummon your little fire spirit.
Yep. Originally, in the Unearthed Arcana from this also had an explosive area of effect with it.
But they must have dropped that for being broken.
Yeah.
Now for the simple bread and butter class, the fighter.
Nope, not in this one.
Oh god, they're not simple.
No.
Oh
So
god.
we get the new fighting styles.
blind
You can have,
blind fighting.
Yeah. So
Yeah, a Phoenix's challenge rating is best described as run.
yeah. You get interception, where you can go in and just if somebody hits it, you can go in and reduce the damage down.
Yeah.
It's kind of like parry, but for somebody else.
Yeah.
Superior technique. As a first level fighting style, you can grab a Battle Master technique.
Thrown weapon fighting.
Yep.
And unarmed fighting, which is monk light.
Yeah,
Which is
because that die never goes up.
yeah, it's diet monk.
Yeah. And also,
Pretty sure
think
that
she's a trainer for the Flaming Fists.
yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Martial
So at level
versus
4,
you
instead of grabbing an ability score, you can grab you can replace your fighting style, or you can replace a maneuver from the Battle Masters. Speaking of which, we have new maneuvers. Battle Masters, you're getting a buff.
ambush, bait and switch.
Ambush, make a dex check. Make a stealth check, or initiative roll. You can spend a superiority die to
Up the
improve
roll.
it. Bait and switch. Spend a superiority die. Switch places with a creature.
Yeah.
Basically,
the dream sequence where it's the bit where like, okay, you guys wanted to fight this thing? Here, fight this thing. Oh, you're all dead. Let's just make that a nightmare sequence so we can keep going with the story. That is a really good way to handle that.
brace. When something moves into reach instead of moving out, you can hit it.
Yep.
You can add superiority dice to charisma, intimidation, performance, or persuasion. Grappling attack. You can hit something and then immediately grapple.
Nice. Quick
Bonus
toss.
action. Yeah, bonus action thrown attack.
Yep.
And then
tactical assessments.
superiority to investigation, history, or insight. We have 2 new martial archetypes, and they're both fun.
We
have the Psy Warrior.
which is weird.
Yeah. Note from Tasha.
Brains over brawn, mind over matter. These canny warriors rightly answer, why not both?
Yeah. So, you have a psionic energy die.
Which-
This is so something.
It is a thing and a half.
Yeah. You can it increases size. Yeah, you can expend it as a bonus action. As a bonus action, you can regain it, but you can't do so again until a rest. This is so niche,
That
but it's it's cleaned up so much better from the Unearthed Arcana. I'll say that.
Yeah.
Because in that one, you could, like, grow it or shrink it to do other things. It's just, no, it's this die, and it levels up as you do. So you can make you can cast Shield with the Psionic die. You can,
Throw your weapons, kind of.
no, kinda. You hit a target within 30 feet of you, spend the die, and deal more damage.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
And willing creature other than yourself within 30 feet of you, you can move it 30 feet.
Yeah.
And if it's tiny, you can move it to or from your hand.
So basically, you just look at a thing and go, "Come here, free."
Well, here's something you could do with it. You could do the powerful oh my god, polymorph attack. So, take the sorcerer who has polymorph, throw him 30 feet in the air because you can move it vertically. Sorcerer at the height casts polymorph, turns into a brachiosaurus, falls on the thing.
Splort.
Yep. Yeah, 2 new telekinetic things. You gain a flying speed equal to twice your walking speed. Until the
Basically,
end of
you
the current
can kind of throw yourself with your brain.
Yeah. Here's the thing, you do not hover, you need to land.
Yes.
And the telekinetic thrust powers up the psionic strike, you can knock things prone. Level 10. You can spend your psionic energy die to not be charmed or frightened. You have resistance to psychic damage.
Yup.
Level 15. There's a lot.
Bulwark of Force.
Yeah. Choose creatures that can include you, up to 30 feet of you, equal to your intelligence mod. All of them have half cover.
Half cover for a minute.
Yep. It's just boom. At level 18, you can cast telekinesis.
Yeah. Requiring no components with your spellcast with intelligence as your casting ability.
Yep. So, that one... This one is a thing and a half. I don't know how you'd use that in a story.
The Psy Warrior thing, yeah, that's one where it would be very, very niche.
Yeah. Rune Knight, however, I like this.
Yeah. Tasha's opinions. You're researching ancient arts and drawing runes. It's okay to just say you want to be a witch.
Yep. Rune Knights use the runes of giants to do a lot of fun things. 3rd level, you get smith tools, and you can speak, read, and write giant.
Kind of necessary when you're using their runes.
Yep. Rune Carver, use magical runes. Choose 2 runes of your choice from among the runes described. And each time you get a level, you can replace a rune with a different one. And this is the rune table of
you can learn up to 5.
Runes. Yeah. Touch objects equal to the number of runes you learn, and you can expend a rune. Here's what the runes do. Okay.
Cloud rune.
If you're wearing an object that has it, you get advantage on sleight of hands and deception. In addition, when you are a creature is hit by an attack roll, you can invoke the rune and choose a different creature other than the attacker, and that chosen creature becomes the target of the attack.
Using the same roll.
This magic can transfer the attack's effect regardless of the attack's range.
That is a fantastic way to evade a crit.
Yeah, they're hitting you with a greatsword. It's gonna crit. It hits that sniper over there. How? Giant magic, I don't know.
How? Because I said so.
Yeah. So Fire Rune. When wearing or carrying an object, your proficiency bonus is doubled for any tool check. If you hit something with a weapon attack that has this rune, it takes 2d6 fire damage, must succeed a strength throw or be restrained.
And it takes 2d6 fire damage at the start of each of its turns due to the fact that these are shackles made of fire.
Yep. It can repeat the save at the end of its turn.
Banishing the shackles on a success.
Yep. So Frost Rune. Get advantage on animal handling and intimidation.
In addition, you can invoke the rune as a bonus action to increase your sturdiness. For 10 minutes, you gain a +2 to all ability checks and saving throws that use strength or constitution. As with all of these runes, you can't do so again until after a short or long rest.
Storm Rune. Advantage on insight, and you have dark vision out to 120 feet. And you can invoke it to charm and just kind of knock it out.
Yeah.
No, that's stone. So then, at 7th level or higher, you get access to Hill and Storm. Hill, you have advantage on saving throws against being poisoned, and you have resistance to poison damage. And you can invoke the rune to gain resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing.
For a minute. Once you invoke this rune, you can't do so again until you finish a short or long rest.
Storm Rune. You have advantage on Arcana, and you can't be surprised.
In addition, you can invoke this rune as a bonus action to enter a prophetic state for 1 minute or until you're incapacitated. Until this state ends, when you or another creature that you can see within 60 feet of you makes an attack roll, a saving throw, or an ability check, you can use your reaction to cause the roll to have advantage or disadvantage. Once you invoke this rune, you can't do so again until you finish a short or long rest.
I just realized we are probably going to get through the fighter, and that's it.
Yeah, probably. We're definitely gonna have to do a part 2 for this.
Oh god, we rambled too much in the beginning, and now we're paying for it.
Yeah, kinda. Well, now we know.
Yep. Giant's Might, level 3. You can become large along with anything you're wearing. Advantage on strength checks, and once per turn, your weapon or unarmed strike can deal an extra d6 damage.
You can use this feature a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus and regain all expended usages when you finish a long rest.
7th level. Hit by an attack roll, you can force a reroll.
Yeah.
Equal to proficiency bonus. Long rest.
The magic of your runes permanently alters you. When you gain this feature, roll 3d4. You grow a number of inches of height equal to that roll. Moreover, the extra damage you deal with your Giant's Might feature increases to 1d8.
15th level. You can invoke each rune twice rather than once before you need to rest.
Rune Juggernaut. You know how to amplify your rune power transformation. As a result, the extra damage you deal with the Giant's Might feature increases to 1d10. Moreover, when you use that feature, your size can increase to huge, and while you are that size, your reach increases by 5 feet. And now we have Battle Master archetype builds.
Yeah, this is just ways to be like, oh hey, I want to be a Battle Master, and I want to be something like, I want to be an archer. Well, here's some things you could do. You could take the maneuvers Disarming, Distracting, and Precision, and you could take the feat Sharpshooter. You're an archer. Yeah,
this basically gives you ideas for how to shape your Battle Master to be what you want.
Yeah, these are things you could look at and be like, oh hey, I could take a fighting style, take these, and I'm a duelist, man.
Yeah.
Be a gladiator. This is really cool, but I don't think it's something we should sit here and go, oh, so for this one you do this, that. It's cool. Look at it if you're thinking about being a Battle Master. This is really interesting.
This is something you are going to want to look at if you are playing a Battle Master fighter.
Right.
Or planning to do so.
I think we have enough time.
For the
monk. Do you want to go over Monk?
Yeah, let's just get the Monk
done. Call it after Monk.
And then we could do part 2 another day. We may have to do one where part 2 is
This may be
pre-recorded.
This week's streams.
Yeah, just we go over Tasha's.
Yeah, because
there's a lot here.
Yeah, there's still the rest of the classes, magic.
And the new critters.
There's a lot. No new critters.
Oh, okay. But yeah.
But there's all the DM stuff too.
Yeah.
So Monk, you get some optional class features. You can grab a dedicated weapon. Basically, you can get one Kensei weapon.
Yep.
You get key-fueled attack, which I don't understand.
You can make... basically, you spend one key point or more, and you get another attack.
Right. But you can already do that.
Yes, but I can assume you
This one just adds the allowance of a monk weapon bonus action attack.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't like that one that much.
It's basically a previous attack, but has something new spot welded on.
Yeah. Quickened healing. This one I like. Spend 2 key points. Roll your martial arts die. Regain HP.
Yeah, that is...
I am going to beg Lava to allow Mornus to be able to do this. With how much he hates long rests.
Yeah.
Miss with an attack roll. Spend 1 key. Increase the attack roll by 2 for each of these key points, turning the miss into a hit.
Yep.
New monastic traditions. First one.
The Way of Mercy.
Tasha?
Tasha's opinions on the Way of Mercy. Plague Doctor. Some looks never go out of style.
Speaking of which...
Ta-da!
Yes, the Way of Mercy allows you to hurt and heal.
At the same time.
Yes. You gain proficiency in insight medicine, proficiency with herbalism, you get a special mask, determined appearance, or generated by rolling on the merciful mask.
You can have anything from a raven to a simple raven skull to a simple black and white, crying visage, laughing visage, a skull mask, or a butterfly mask.
Yeah. So, your third level things, Hand of Healing and Hand of Harm. Hand of Healing, you can heal things. As an action, touch creature, spend a key point, heal martial arts die plus wisdom. And when you use Flurry of Blows, you can replace one of the unarmed strikes with the use of this feature without spending a key point for the healing.
Yeah, basically, this is the one where if you want to do rapid-fire oscillation between heal and beat something in the head.
Yeah, Hand of Harm. When you hit a creature with an unarmed strike, spend a key point, deal extra necrotic damage equal to a martial arts die plus your wisdom. You can only use this feature once per turn.
Physician's Touch. You can administer even greater healing, so if you feel it's necessary, use your knowledge to cause harm. Use Hand of Healing on a creature, and you can also end one disease or one of the conditions affecting the creature. Blinded, deafened, paralyzed, poisoned, or stunned. When you use Hand of Harm on a creature, you can subject that creature to the poisoned condition until the end of your next turn.
Next, Flurry of Healing and Harm.
You can now met out a Flurry of Comfort and Hurt. When you use Flurry of Blows, you now replace each of the unarmed strikes with a use of your Hand of Healing without spending key points for the healing. In addition, when you make an unarmed strike with Flurry of Blows, you can use Hand of Harm with that strike without spending the key point for Hand of Harm. You can still use Hand of Harm only once per turn.
Hand of Ultimate Mercy.
Your Mastery of Life Energy opens the door to the Ultimate Mercy. As an action, you can touch the corpse of a creature that has died within the past 24 hours and spend 5 key points. The creature then returns to life, regaining a number of hit points equal to 4d10 plus your wisdom modifier. If the creature died while subject to any of the following conditions, it revives with them removed. Blinded, deafened, paralyzed, poisoned, and stunned. The monks have a revive feature now.
Yep.
Way of the
Astral Self.
Tasha's opinions. Note to self. Create a spell that lets you throat punch people with your own ghost.
Yep.
A monk who follows the way of the astral self believes their body is an illusion. They see their ki as a representation of their true form, an astral self. This astral self has the ability to be a force of order or disorder, with some monasteries training students to use their powers to protect the weak, and others instructing aspirants to manifest their true selves in service to the mighty. Forms of your astral self. The astral self is a translucent embodiment of the monk's soul. As a result, an astral self can reflect aspects of the monk's background, ideals, flaws, and bonds. The astral self doesn't necessarily need to look anything like the monk. For example, the astral self of a lanky human might be reminiscent of a minotaur, the strength of which the monk feels within. Similarly, an orc monk might manifest gossamer arms and a delicate visage, representation of the gentle beauty of the orc's soul. Each astral self is unique, and some monks of this monastic tradition are known more for the appearance of their astral self than for their physical appearance. When choosing this path, choose the quirks that define your monk. Are you obsessed with something? Are you driven by justice or a selfish desire? Any of these motivations could manifest in the form of your astral self. And yes, Wolf, the Way of Mercy monks could fully punch life back into you.
Here's an astral self dragonborn.
The astral
And
self
this
is
what
not
we're working with.
is not fully manifest, and we just see it as an extra set of limbs.
Yes, because that's the third thing. Third level, you can spend a key point to summon the arms of your astral self. Second you do, anything within 10 feet must take a dex save or take force damage equal to 2d whatever your martial arts die is.
For 10 minutes,
They hover near your shoulder or surround your arms, your choice. Determine the arm's appearance. They vanish early if you incapacitate or die. Wisdom mod instead of strength mod when making strength checks or strength saves. You can use the spectral arms to make unarmed attacks. When you do make that attack, your reach is 5 feet greater than normal. The unarmed strike you make with your arms, use your wisdom modifier in place of your strength or dex mod for the attack and damage rolls, and their damage type is force.
At 6th level, you gain Visage of the Astral Self. You can summon the Visage of your Astral Self as a bonus action or as part of the bonus action you take to activate Arms of the Astral Self. You can spend 1 key point to summon this Visage for 10 minutes. It vanishes early if you are incapacitated or die. The spectral visage covers your face like a helmet or mask. You determine its appearance. While it is present, you gain the following benefits. Astral sight. You can see normally in darkness, both magical and non-magical, to a distance of 120 feet. You have advantage on insight and intimidation checks. You can direct your words to a creature of your choice that you can see within 60 feet of you so that only that creature can hear you. Alternatively, you can amplify your voice so all creatures within 600 feet can hear you.
Body of the astral self. When you have both your arms and visage summoned, you can cause the body of your astral self to appear. No action required. The spectral body covers your physical form like a suit of armor, connecting with the arms and visage. You determine its appearance. When the spectral body is present, you gain the following benefits. When you take acid, cold, fire, force, lightning, or thunder, you can use your reaction to deflect it. When you do so, the damage taken is reduced by 1d10 plus your wisdom. Once on each of your turns, when you hit a target with the arms of the astral self, you deal extra damage, equal to another roll of your martial arts die.
Awakened Astral Self. Your connection to your astral self is complete, allowing you to unleash its full potential. As a bonus action, you can spend 5 key points to summon the arms, visage, and body of your astral self and awaken it for 10 minutes. This awakening ends early if you are incapacitated or die. While your astral self is awakened, you gain the following benefits. Armor of the Spirit, you gain a +2 to your armor class, and Astral Barrage. Whenever you use the extra attack feature to attack twice, you can instead attack 3 times if all the attacks are made with your astral arms.
So I want you all to know something. Way of the Astral Self, you just get a Susanoo from Naruto. That's all it is!
That is basically what this is, but at the same time, it's flavored really, really cool.
Oh no, I want to do it. I want to do this. I want to do this so bad, but it's just a Susanoo.
Kinda, yeah, but it's still cool.
Try and tell me different. Oh no, it's awesome. It's dope. I love it. It's a Susanoo.
I'm not telling you it isn't.
Oh, D&D went full weeaboo with this one.
Yeah, but that's okay. And we are at 1 o'clock, so we are going to have to pick up tomorrow with the Paladins?
Yep, Paladins next.
Okay.
Who wants a sneak peek? Wants a sneak peek?
Let's do a sneak peek. New spells.
Oh, here we go. This guy. I know what to end it on. Give me a second. Let's end it on this half-naked tiefling with the Nemean lion over his shoulder.
Why are we doing this? Why are you...
Is
Okay,
that
you know
not
what?
what we
I
should
give
end it
up.
on? Is that not what we should end it on? Should we end it on this dwarf paladin? With the glowing eyes?
Let's go with that one.
Yeah.
Right. So, anyways, everyone, thank you very much for joining us. We will see you all again tomorrow at our same time. At the same time as we usually do.
Same bat time. Same bat time, same bat channel.
Anywho, thank you all very much for joining us, and we will see you all again soon. Bye-bye for now.
Ta-ta!